this is different. This is magnificent, man. And I like this. I enjoyed myself to the fullest, and I can't wait to come back on. I can't wait to see it, see more of the people on here.
And it's also wonderful to hear people talk sanely to each other.
You're doing something like you and I have always talked about, outside the box. And on top of that, entertaining people at the same time. And on top of that, educating people at the same time. Obviously, you can't lose, bro.
I mean, yes, pain is inevitable. I mean, there's a reason we have these sensors in our body. I mean, they're warning signs. In other words, something hurts, obviously something is amiss.
That's the standard, especially on film. When the film, the cameras weigh in on your soul. If you commit to not putting crap out there, you can actually make a difference, certainly for yourself, and maybe something about the soul.
And we're just beginning to unlock and comprehend the true nature of the universe, in my humble opinion. And we still have no definitive proof that life exists outside of our solar system.
And I would ask him to come with me back to early 2023 to save my son's life.
My father passed away. She's an only child. Her mother had passed away. She didn't have any family. And she asked me to walk her down the aisle. That's the part that changed. That cruel moment of when you realize there is no hope. That tears at me, but it doesn't tear at me anymore because there was hope. I hung on just long enough to come out the other side. And here I am. Look at me, all beautiful and stuff.
But now you're going to bring your garbage and war out into space. Well, we're not going to let that happen.
The high tide's going to come. You're not going to be able to overcome at least what technology has created.
And they were rebuilding that country at a cost.
Their truth is the truth that we imbue in them, to be kind, to be civil.
And I was like, oh my God, I'm not all the names that the kids were calling me on the playground. I was dyslexic. It was a recognition.
Sure. Continue to work as hard as you can, because by working, Avi, you will keep yourself busy and get used to the grief. The grief will build up. Two people, two different stories.
It was a life-changing moment because I was no longer allowing myself to be a victim.
Another trio of questions, now more underrated. We have Billy D. Williams, Italian men named Skippy, or unicycle.
I'm sorry, Italian men named Skippy. Put me away, Avi. That's
Archie Bunker, the mountain climber, Ralph Cramden, the yoga instructor, or Don Corleone, the computer repair person.
It's clearly an issue with the hard drive. I'm going to go Don Corleone.
The bed actually looks like a bed. ED. If you think about it, lasagna is just spaghetti-flavored cake. I don't know. Have we ever thought about this? That the object of golf is to play the least amount of golf. Think about it. That's golf in a nutshell.
Yep. That's true.
Yes.
Yeah. That's true.
That's the object.
Where I went around, I visited all the adults first in the the Stony Brook University Cancer Center. And then I visited the children. And I would say the adults were at least as enthused and joyful to see Santa.
And I said, Mr. Ventura, I said, I don't know if you remember me. He says, of course, Jacques Rougeau, I remember you, the Rougeau brothers, And when he said that to me, it was like, holy.
Listen, I got a chance to get to know Joe Weeda. Joe was like a second father to me. He took me under his wing. He introduced me to art. He introduced me to history.
I had a blast. I want to dance with somebody.
There we go.
I'll do it.
I do too right now, guys and gals. And
when you say
videotape, I'm gonna say it once again to all Jake's people, all them Braves fans. Hey, y'all, appreciate y'all. I love you and keep rooting for them Braves.
But I was going, Tom, Don, I'm a true fan. Yo, I never watched all of your movies through, Tom, because they scared the crap out of me. Love y'all, man.
Pleasure. Great to meet you. It's great to meet you too, Trent.
Yeah, Avi, you did a great job.
John Amos.
Man, what an introduction. I hope I can live up to that. God bless you.
Last name McMahon, first name Jim. Welcome, my friend, to the second round reveal show.
Avi, always great to hear your voice, kid, and to hear your intros. You're amazing.
I welcome a power player and businessman. Last name Rosenthal, first name Steve.
Avi, you are unbelievable.
No, please.
That was one of the best introductions I've ever had in my entire life. It was better than my bar mitzvah.
Welcome this man, last name Davidson, first name Tommy.
Nice. I think that's the best intro I've ever had.
Oh, I appreciate that, my friend.
Grab your mommy. Here's Tommy.
Did you have a nice time tonight in the green room?
I had a great time. I can't tell you how refreshing it is that somebody knows what they're doing.
Avi is a poet, but he doesn't know it, but his feet show it. You're unbelievable.
$15,000, trip for 2 to Greece, winning it all, competitive juices. Are they all there, Joe?
Man, the competitive juices don't stop.
Robert, would you like to win this entire tournament?
You know, all those luminaries and athletes and strongmen notwithstanding, the most dangerous place on this show is between me and that prize. That's all I'm going to say.
You get a chance.
I am here to destroy people, to win, put up the rhymes that make things say that be so fine, and then hit you in the butt, because I'm ready to win this all. It's all about me going to Greece with my wife and my family and having a great time. Let's win this. Let's win this.
Oh, are you here to win the whole darn tournament?
I don't play. I just win.
Hey Greenies, Jamie Sparling here, Green Roomer, over 4 years, host of In the Dojo on the new network, and the new upcoming Formable podcast. Tonight, we're going to watch Miles Avery, Hall of Fame gymnastics coach and American Ninja competitor, face Larry Zbyszko, WWE Hall of Famer, as well as pro wrestling legend B. Brian Blair. And don't forget, college Hall of Famer Clinton Portis. Tonight, they are going to come to you and speak to you on different levels about different topics of which nobody but them knows about. You get to choose who is going to resonate most with you. Now, we all have favorites and people that we like. However, the integrity of this tournament is like nothing I've ever seen. So please, listen to each gentleman. Take your time and vote for who resonates most with you. As for me, I'm going to be watching. My prediction unofficially is that Miles Avery B. Brian Blair, as well as Larry Zbyszko, are going to go on to the next round. Now, anything can happen. We all know this. It is the green room, after all. So, all bets are off, and we're going to see what happens. As for me, I want to go to Greece just like everybody else, and I'm looking forward to my match. So I'll see you soon. Once again, Jamie Sparling. Have fun, Greenies.
Y'all,
I am excited. Are you excited? Tonight is a first in TKN history. This is the first time we are having 4 competitors face each other. Not only that, all 4 of these men are in different halls of fame. We have Hall of Fame gymnastics coach Miles Avery, who has also competed several times on American Ninja Warrior. We have College Football Hall of Famer Clinton Portis. We have WWE Hall of Famer Larry Zbyszko. And we have Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame member B. Brian Blair, also one half of the Killer Bees. One of these men will be eliminated this evening based on your votes. 3 will advance. By the end of tonight, round number 2, night number 5 of the celebrity tournament, we will be down to 128 competitors. Who do you think is advancing tonight? And who do you think will be eliminated? It's anyone's game, and as we saw last week, anything can happen on any given night. But I predict that the Hall of Fame gymnastics coach Miles Avery, WWE Hall of Famer Larry Zbyszko, and Pro Wrestling Hall of Famer B. Brian Blair will advance this evening. Those 3 men are extremely thorough and put so much thought into their arguments. And I do not want to detract anything from Clinton Portis. I can't wait to see more of him. Anything can happen. He is a fierce competitor as well, and he is going to really bring some heart.
Tonight has a fantastic show lined up. Gotta admit, it's gonna be a tough one. Who am I voting for? In this order, I'd say Brian Blair, Clinton Portis, then Miles Avery. That may switch around, but again, Larry, prove me wrong. Have an excellent night, all 4 of you. You're gonna do amazing. Loved all your arguments so far, and dig deep. Remember that, dig deep.
There are those of us who like to venture to the unexplored, to see the beauty in the strange and unknown. Those of us who go out there with a sense of wonder. It's the magic of risking everything for a dream that nobody sees but you.
Beyond this place of wrath and tears looms but the shadow of the shade. Yet the menace of the years finds and shall find me, unafraid. God. It matters not how strait the gate, how punishment charged the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul.
I have to remind myself that some birds aren't meant to be caged. Their feathers are just too bright. And when they fly away, the part of you that knows it was a sin to lock them up does rejoice. Let me tell you about a voice. The one that whispers. It tells me what's right and what's not, when to leave and where to go. It's not Shakespeare. It does not speak in memorable lines. My inner voice always gives it to me straight. Tells me who my real friends are, when to say yes, when to say no. Whether the person sitting next to me is the one I'll be spending the rest of my life with. You already know that dedication, hard work, and perseverance gives positive results. Let your instincts guide you.
Your 15 minutes are up. You better start thinking of something else. What else to do? What do I want to do? I was picked a day that I was going to go to the Taxi and Limousine Commission to try and get my license. And the day before I decided to go, I got a call from my agent. Paul Newman is casting, wants to see you. Getting a job is like having money in your pocket. If you got it, you can get it. Strangely enough, so this was in September. By October, I had a TV job, an off-Broadway show. I was directing a play, and I was going to be in January going to do this movie. It was called Harry and Sons. Go figure. What would you do if you weren't an actor? If you didn't make it as an actor, what would you do? I have no idea. I would act somewhere, because I'll die if I don't.
David Tank Abbott and Teddy Long move on officially to round number 3. 2 out of 3 always move on. Teddy and Tank have moved on.
Moving on to round number 3 of the TKN Celebrity Tournament are none other than Richard Klein and Cindy Pickett. They will both be in round number 3.
And also with 20 votes, Mr. Eddie Johnson and Stephen Tobolowsky will move on to round 3 of the TKN Celebrity Tournament. 3, 2, and a 1. With 20 votes, and moving on to round number 3 of the TKN Celebrity Tournament, DC Glenn will be in round number 3, guys, of the tournament with 15 votes. Pete Babcock will move on to round 3 of the TKN Celebrity Tournament.
Hi, I'm Rick Barry, a member of the Basketball Hall of Fame and one of the NBA's top 50 players. And I'm really excited to tell you about my new relationship in the broadcasting world with the new network.
It's TKN, and
A young man named Avi Klein has poured his blood, sweat, and tears into creating this new network and assembling an amazing group of individuals to co-host shows with him throughout the network, covering everything you can imagine. He's assembled artists, authors, film entertainers,
legends from every walk of life who are just bringing their knowledge and their experience and their wisdom, and this is amazing. Like in a day and age when our airwaves are just completely oversaturated with false narratives, with social media futility, with craziness, Avi just is I feel like this is a cosmic convergence of what is most important to him, and he's such a stand-up guy.
Here, but with a very warm heart for Avi and thanking him for all the work he's put into creating the new network. For me, I have just a teeny part of this in terms of having a program that's based on storytelling, where I get to share some of my stories with you.
I can't even imagine how hard Avi Klein works. He tells me he gets 4 hours of sleep a day, and I actually believe that, because Avi is so passionate, he works so hard, and
tune into Avi's network, because there's a lot of jewels that we're going to uncover.
I'm going to be tagging up again with my great friend and tag team partner Avi Klein for Breaking the Ice, which will be just one show out of many that are part of the new network.
He's very respectful, and he really connects with the artists and his audiences, and I felt like this guy's on to something, and I'm proud to be a part of this with him.
Avi, congratulations. I don't know anybody that can talk as much as you. Seriously, I thought I could talk. You are unreal. But you do it with class, understanding, professionalism. You're simply amazing. I told you that when I first met you. And you ran off my autobiography. It basically was a book. It was simply fantastic. And to think that you do that every show.
The thing is you put out a stage out here. You give us a floor to go on of competition, and everybody can relate to having competition.
I just think it's going to be, a lot of fun for people. I don't think people like this on the air. I don't think really. No, there isn't. I just think it's going to be I'm very interested in how people respond to it, because I know it's going to be interesting, and see if people tune in and stay tuned in, and I really hope they do. And I'm all yours, bro. Let's go out and make this work. All right, I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you for being you, my friend. I appreciate you and respect you wholeheartedly.
And that goes double for me to you, Avi.
Love you, John Amos. Love you, Tom Sizemore. And I love you guys and gals for being here live on a Saturday night. We are ready to rock. We are ready to roll. And guys and gals and pals, industrial-sized air conditioners at your favorite B&B in Alaska would be rendered obsolete after witnessing that intro, because we're all fired up. That much is a fact. You've all experienced luminary after luminary enter this virtual arena. Indeed, this tournament is stacked. I dubbed this vision of mine edutainment because I place emphasis on entertainment and education, because on this station, we celebrate those that are passionate about their vocation, and this format is anything but the same old, so I thank you for embracing the innovation and expressing your constant elation when taking in the most star-studded tournament of them all, a place where competitors convey their level of admiration, while we marvel at the information, passion, and perspiration when observing this wide array of talent that make up the population of strong-minded thinkers that enlighten us. Which is why I subscribe to conversation, because listening and applying is how we get to our destination. We're all so much closer than we are apart, which is why this show offers a demonstration of what's right about us as a society. So for the new viewers out there who have a fascination, sit back and enjoy as I put a cap on this verbal dissertation. Let's keep doing what we do and realize that our motto isn't some Sherlock Holmes mystery. A legendary director of Superman fame, my mentor, told me years ago, write your own history. Teaching history and screenwriting for the very best was one thing, but sharing your history is an honor. That mentor lives in my heart daily. His name was Richard Donner. So let's sit back, guys and gals and pals, and realize what we've witnessed here in this tournament oh so grand, where 131 Hall of Famers and award winners and nominees own this land as we discover and rediscover our humanity through open dialogue and expand. So be prepared to give a hand with $15,000 and a 5-day and 5-night trip to Greece on the line. One can't forget about the pride and the prize, not just merely the size. So with that, let's all rise and reprise our roles as educational voyeurs that never chastise or agonize, but rather revel in our beautiful reality without needing a disguise. Here on this network, we're all allergic to lies. The bard Shakespeare once said, "It is not in the stars to hold our destiny, but in ourselves." So if you love something, don't hate others that do, because doing is the sweet nectar that is most rewarding. Take a moment to breathe, admire your desire to aspire, because if you don't, life will be but a blur. Of this I'm sure, so never hate the flower for starting out as a seed. Long distance running is essential. This isn't a stampede, so don't run anyone over on your way to the top. Focus on yourself and never forget to cheerlead. Root for your loved ones and lift people up. And with that, a message. You know, I've got messages from some of you guys and gals who've experienced what it's like to have people talk behind your back. To that, I say this. They're behind you for a reason. That's why they talk behind your back. Keep going forward. That's all that matters. And do it with a smile on your face. This human fortune cookie hopes that we've all agreed that positivity is something we can never concede. Guys and gals and pals, are we ready for our first competitor tonight? Happiness is the real sense of fulfillment that comes from hard work. Motivation is what gets you started. Hard work is what keeps you going. And our next participant, guys, is one of the greatest coaches of all time. But he also happens to be one of the most thoughtful, honest, and passionate people this earth has ever seen. He's persevered. He's educated the masses, while all the while being true to himself, absolutely, wholeheartedly. Guys and gals, let's take a look.
Movement, interesting things begin to happen. Animal life on Earth goes back millions of years, yet most species only use 3 to 5% of their cerebral capacity. You always make the choice in the road you take, but the road always splits, it always forks, and sometimes it might fork 3 or 4 different directions. When you have made your choice, it is Providence that is your guide. Good, bad, or indifferent. Your fate lies in that. Courage. Courage is the key to life itself. There are a lot of people who are born in situations that say, I'll never get out of this. So they won't. I say to people who say, well, I would like to have done so and so and so. So, well, you could have done it. So, well, I couldn't get out of here. Man, the bus runs every day. So as I said, I went to the movies all the time.
The right way, but for that moment in time, and I still remember that moment of just walking past the gym and said, wow, they have gymnastics, this is awesome, and walking in that gym and just turned my life around, and now here I am, a Hall of Fame coach. What I would take back is video replay, video cameras, and certainly personally to sometimes in the Black family you just don't know. I would love to hear from my great-great-grandfather.
Absolutely, guys and gals and pals. He's inspired so many. Our next participant grew up in Philadelphia, PA, and did it all as he was a seasonal athlete. Football, basketball, baseball. Should I repeat? Nah, let me add some more. Track, gymnastics. The man did it all. And the audience always asked for an encore because his commitment to excellence was something we couldn't ignore, like a mid-'80s scent brought to us by Christian Dior or an early 90s version of Pauly Shore. Stopping dead in our tracks to observe this man's athletic excellence should have been a golden rule. He graduated in '76. He was the most lettered athlete with 11 varsity awards in high school. Despite his eclectic sports background, he had a particular passion for gymnastics. which was his primary focus when he attended Temple University. He got down to the nitty-gritty, and Coach Fred Turoff was privy that even as a freshman, our luminary was better than the seniors, which was a consensus. No need for a committee to determine that this man was a special athlete, not some Tom, Dick, or Harry. Not only did this gentleman make the Temple University varsity gymnastics team, but in 1981, he became a member of the USA national team. He was one of only 14 gymnastics to represent his country, as success was his reoccurring theme. He continued to compete as a member of the USA national team, while Temple and East Stroudsburg benefited from him as their coach. The players related to him as they maximized their growth, much in particular to his terrific approach. He was a 3-time recipient of the NCAA's Assistant Coach of the Year award while at Ohio State, and at East Stroudsburg, he coached the national championship team and won Coach of the Year. His resume is as vast and deep as the good old bard himself, Mr. Shakespeare, and to think he could have made it in the NFL or NBA, perhaps as a Tampa Bay Buccaneer or a Cleveland Cavalier. He was resilient to life's many challenges and would rebound like a mid-70s Bob Lanier. Let's get back to his impressive career. In his first head coaching job, he guided the Warriors to a national championship in 1988. His success paved the way for assistant coaching positions at Ohio State, as I continue to narrate. Like Robert Stack, but this isn't some unsolved mystery. This man was already making history while educating the masses and providing glee. Like a couple in the French Riviera enjoying some creme brulee. Be prepared to deliver him a bouquet, because it's now time for the entree as I go through his incredible resume. He was a member of the men's coaching staff at 4 Olympic Games, 96, 2000, 2004, and 2008. He served as head coach of the Ohio State Buckeyes men's gymnastics team from 1998 to 2010. He's been the personal coach of numerous world and Olympic team members and medalists. His impressive list of athletes include Paul Hamm, 5-time world medalist, 3-time Olympic medalist, the first U.S. man to win the world and Olympic all-around titles. Blaine Wilson, a 5-time U.S. all-around champion, 3-time and 2004 Olympic team silver medalist. Morgan Hamm, 2003 world team silver medalist and 2-time Olympian, and a 2-time U.S. floor champion. In his 13 years as head coach at Ohio State University, he led the Buckeyes to the 2001 NCAA title and 5 Big Ten championships. He also produced 3 NCAA all-around champions, 9 NCAA event champions, and 22 All-Americans. He's earned numerous awards and accolades during his career, which include 3-time NCAA Assistant Coach of the Year, 2001 NCAA Coach of the Year, 5-time Big Ten Coach of the Year, and 2-time USA Gymnastics Coach of the Year. In 2015 and 16, he was a city finals qualifier on NBC's American Ninja Warrior. Despite the name, fame, and the acclaim, this man was still the same. But in 2017, the ultimate honor as he was inducted into the USA Gymnastics Hall of Fame. As an athlete, he always stuck the landing. I kid you not, like a mid-'80s Gary Shandling. I can keep mentioning his many styles, but I don't want to keep you in suspense like a mid-'90s episode of The X-Files. So let's see those smiles as I welcome a legendary athlete human being to the tournament. Last name, Avery. First name, Miles. Welcome to round 2 of the tournament, my friend.
Thank you, Avi. Thank you very much. Avi, I got to find out where if I need video for myself, I'm coming to you, because you have more video than even I have of myself. I don't know where you even get it, but thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Give it. I get it, but you give it. You give it back, and you've given it back to many people that essentially had no one to turn to, because what you do at your school, what you do with kids, the way you train and motivate them, it's more than just teaching them about gymnastics. It's making sure they're ready for life, Miles.
It absolutely is. And I mention that to kids and parents all the time. It's so much about more than just the gymnastics and preparing these little ones for life after sport.
There's no doubt about that. Again, American Ninja, what a competition, what a competitor you are. We talked about this in the green room of the Green Room Show tonight, being able to be there and be present during the Olympic Games, the gold medal ceremonies, all of that is such a big deal. You're very accomplished, but Miles, we're looking at yourself included, 131 Hall of Famers and award winners who started this tournament in round number 2. We're whittling it down, of course. 15 grand on the line, trip for 2 to Greece. Are you here to win it all, my friend?
I am absolutely here to win it all. As everyone in this tournament, their resume says they are winners. Well, somebody's got to be the ultimate winner of this tournament. And I think that person resides in Asheville, North Carolina.
My friend, yes, I like what you just said. And guys and gals and pals, remember, I'm bringing this up. Miles didn't. A lot of people were definitely rocked. We know a few weeks back, guys, Miles scheduled to be on with Tank Abbott and Teddy Long during open night of round number 2. But guess what? A hurricane hit. He's here right now. If you guys can do anything, we're going to give you some information. Of course, there's a lot of people that are still trying to get their lives back in order. Miles knows what that's all about. This man won't say it, but I will. He spent today, and shout out to Mitch, our friend Mitch, Miles. He told me this as well. A great guy. But, what you've done to help people after the hurricane has been incredible. I know that was definitely devastating for you to witness as well.
Absolutely. You know, to wake up and obviously you have no electricity, you have no water, you have no anything. And certainly I was blessed enough to have electricity back soon. My facility wasn't overly taken over with mud and water and washed away. And so we could be a safe haven for people in our area. And, you know, to give supplies to a family that has absolutely nothing, you know, to just be a servant of serving meals and just giving back to the community is what my facility is all about. And my being here for people, just to be a servant is an awesome, powerful feeling thing.
Well, my friend, you're all heart, my friend. I'm going to put you backstage momentarily, bring you back in as we bring in our second participant.
All right.
Mr. Miles Avery, guys, he's ready to roll, guys and gals. And now it's time to bring in a living legend, guys and gals and pals. Our next participant, guys and gals, is a person that has an inner voice with great clearness because he knew what he wanted to do since he was young. They live by what they hear. People with clearness live by what they hear. Such people become aware, while select few become legendary. The heights by great men reached and kept were not attained by sudden flight, but they, while their companions slept, were toiling upward in the night. Guys and gals, a living legend indeed, Mr. Larry Zbyszko.
Approaching closer and closer, the sea of course had calmed down. We come up on top of the ship and we're looking, you know, and I gotta tell you, we saw the Statue of Liberty as we got very close, you know. And I'll never forget, as a little kid, but I'll never forget how everybody gathered. We were like shoulder to shoulder, everybody. And there was a silence, like you could hear a pin drop, as the old saying goes, because it was a realization that we made it. There's the Statue La Statue, and people were so touched at that sight. And I remember as a little kid, I just stared like, you know, but I could hear sobbings and I could see tears, like a disbelief that we actually made it to America, you know.
And I fell in love watching this show because there was so many episodes. The writing was amazing, the story. And it was like a game, too, because you're trying to figure out who the murderer is. The movie I was watching when my wife called and said she was pregnant again, and it lucked out because the baby hit her blood type. So he was born perfectly healthy, you know, ESP psychic. My mother saw the future on her deathbed, and it was amazing.
Guys and gals, already a fast friend and an absolute class act is Mr. Zbyszko. There's no doubt about that. Our next participant is a living legend and is class personified. On a cold, windy night in Chicago in December of '53, a man was born and he would not be denied. He loved Superman and Zorro as a child for the good guy versus bad guy theme and the stories they would tell. By lunchtime during the first day of first grade, he wouldn't buy what they were attempting to sell, much to his teacher's chagrin. After lunch, he couldn't help but notice a bird outside the window and was able to admire its freedom and state of liberation. It sure beat trying to figure out or solve a daily mathematical equation. His family moved to Pittsburgh when he was about age 10 or 11. Wrestling Studio 11 on TV with Bill Cardell, he was truly in heaven. Sure, there was Jumping Johnny DeFazio, Hurricane Hutton, Slip Mahoney Darso, but one man reigned supreme above all, and his name was Bruno. From this point on, he knew he was going to be a pro wrestler despite his guidance counselor going, whoa. In ninth grade, his guidance counselor, Hans, asked him what he wanted to be when he grew up. When the answer he heard was professional wrestler, he laughed that this ninth grader was only 130 pounds. Fate stepped in when all of a sudden one day he was in someone else's grounds. But I digress. He started wrestling in grade school, high school, and then, guys and gals and pals, for Penn State. But at age 15, driving around with his buddy, he was on the lookout for an all-time great. Bruno Sammartino was living in the neighborhood, and one day this legend to-be could see him through the hedges in his backyard. So he busted through, and as Bruno was playing with his son David, there was no doubt that he was definitely caught off guard. At 5'11 and 265 pounds, Bruno was quite the specimen, and his expression came across as, what the hell? But it's through this awkward encounter that a friendship and mentorship would quickly gel. Before the ringing of any bell, they cared and respected one another wholeheartedly in a nutshell. Bruno met his folks and took them under his wing. Training in his basement, doing the same workout for years, that was definitely their thing. Bruno wanted him to go to college, so he did because of one word, respect, as he continued training and stretching out those limbs. He started wrestling around the Pittsburgh area, doing some local TV and shows in the high school gyms. Then Bruno sent him to British Columbia, Vancouver. There was a wrestling territory led by Gene Kaniski and Sander Szabo. And although this wasn't where he would stay, he would learn to grow before going to the WWF as a main attraction on a big show. Everyone from Arnold Scullin to Chief Jay Strongbow and Tony Altamore to Gorilla Monsoon, the Savaldis and George Steeles were all great tutors. And in 74, he was named PWI Rookie of the Year. They boo the people they secretly want to cheer. And in 75, he went off to California and then Georgia and worked, guys and gals, with many a peer as something, guys and gals, was blossoming. I'm speaking of his career. He took it further and returned to the WWF in 76 and teamed up with Tony Garea, but the best was yet to come. There was a storyline that would serve as a blueprint for success, and no one knew where it came from. The trainer and pupil faced one another in Allentown on January 22nd, 1980. The turn happened, and they were calling for this man's head, from one man named Fred to a woman named Katie. Larry put himself in legitimate danger. He was stabbed, shot at, hit with pipes, had his car overturned. His taxi attacked. He was no longer safe in his own home. It led up to a cage match main event known as the Showdown at Shea, a throwback to the great battles of Rome. In those days, selling out a stadium for wrestling was unheard of, but he and Bruno did it first, as the passionate fans didn't need pay-per-view or cable to express their undying thirst. He became a top draw everywhere he went. The NWA and the Killer Brooks story to his feud in the AWA with Sergeant Slaughter, a man who waved old glory. He became AWA heavyweight champion of the world and wrestled in the first Tokyo Dome show in front of 70,000 fans he would excite. At such a sight, this was more than double the amount of people that would show up the next night to see the Tyson and Buster Douglas fight. From a tag team specialist to one of the greatest champions of all time. Can it all fit into this passionate, heartfelt rhyme? Not at all, because this man is a true Renaissance man. On the golf course, his tee shots between 270 and 280 yards. He's a licensed pilot and a black belt in judo. If he were an ace, I'd take the bet and give up all my cards. His voice also served as a soundtrack to many growing up. Go ahead, ask any Tom, Dick, or Harry as we welcome a Hall of Fame talented human being. Last name Zbyszko, first name Larry. Welcome to round two, my friend.
Avi, thank you. You're amazing to listen to. I wish I had half your energy. My God, how do you do it?
Oh, it's easy to do when I'm surrounded by people like you, my friend, and Brian Blair, and Miles Avery, and everyone in this tournament, and all our viewers. You guys give me that energy, but man, you've given people a lot as well. Larry, the first thing I'm going to ask you about, and there's a lot to talk about, guys. You know, my dear friend is Ray Lloyd. He's also Larry Zbyszko's friend as well. We got a movie premiere coming up. We're going to talk about that soon as well. I can't wait for that. We're excited about that, Larry. But Larry, again, you know, round number two, I call this the sport of the mind. Mark Henry said that. Lou Ferrigno said that. He said, this is a sport of the mind. And in the case of Lou Ferrigno, he said, it gives him something after retirement to look forward to because the competitive juices are there. We all want to win. Of course, there's a lot of visibility now with what we're doing. One person wins this whole thing, 15 grand, trip for two to Greece. Would you like to win it all, my friend?
Yeah, I would love to. I mean, you know, that's what's in your blood that keeps you going. And like you said, in retirement, let me tell you, retirement can get pretty boring. You know, I mean, you're used to a life that was busy every day on the road, in the air, flying a plane. But, you know, now retirement, you know, I sit on the couch, watch Perry Mason and go, what can I do today? I got nothing to do today. I mean, so this is great. I love being on the show. And, of course, you can boo on me.
Guys, I got a YouTube video I'm going to play with Larry on here soon, and you'll understand why he's wearing that shirt, but also ties in to the Unbreakable bunch, which we're going to talk about very, very soon.
Yeah, I got to put the movie is coming out Friday
night.
The Unbreakable bunch.
You know this very well. Ray Lloyd has been working on this thing along with Luther Wilson and that great cast that you were a part of. You starred in that film. They put their blood, sweat, and tears into this film, Larry.
Yeah, I mean, it took Ray 10 years to put this thing going. And then when it was finally filmed, the COVID hit, slowed it down a little bit, but it's ready to go, and it's going to be out this Friday on Prime something.
Yeah, I believe
I got a flip phone, so I'm not smart with the computer stuff.
I believe on Prime, and I'm also talking to Ray about some other things going on as far as making sure that this thing gets out there even more, because the masses should consume this. Guys, think of it this way. It kind of speaks to me, Larry, because the reason why I did this show to begin with was to remind everybody that whether you're a pro wrestler or whether you're an athlete or whether you're a film and TV star, you are more than your persona. We can peel back those layers. We could humanize these great people like yourself and Brian Blair and all the pro wrestlers and Miles Avery and show the world who they really are beyond just the pomp and circumstance. And that's what the film is all about, because yes, there's pro wrestlers in it, but it's not necessarily a pro wrestling movie.
No, it's not about wrestling. It's an action thriller sci-fi movie that's family friendly, and it was very well done. Super special effects. I mean, it's a great family movie, and it's going to be really cool. Something different than Jurassic Park 10 and
right.
Beetlejuice 5 and
yeah, it's so original. And my friend, again, thank you for giving back as much as you do. It was an honor to make sure that we had Bruno Sammartino's voice in that intro pack, because I know he meant a lot to you as well.
Where do you get all this info? And I was born in 1951.
I'll tell you what, Matt, you look amazing, and I know you're here to win this thing, and I cannot wait to get things started. My friend, I'm going to put you backstage momentarily and bring in our third competitor.
Go get him, Avi.
Thank you, my friend. Guys and gals, Larry Zbyszko is a Hall of Fame man and a Hall of Fame human being. And from one Hall of Famer to another, guys and gals, this man means a lot to me. He's a very, very authentic, genuine person. And I say that on air, and I say that behind the scenes as well, because he believed in what we were doing from day number one. And we shared a friend in Del Wilkes, so we always honor. Del was a terrific human being. And thankfully, Del, as I told him on the phone earlier, one of the best things Del did for me was introduce me to this man who's to know him is to love him. That's the truth, guys. Our labor must be conceived with fire in the soul, but executed with clinical coolness. If you know the enemy and you know yourself, you need not fear the results of 100 battles. Our next participant is a man that has battled his entire life, yet he's touched the lives of many. He's one of the absolute greatest in his sport, but there is nothing greater than his friendship, loyalty, humility, honesty, and compassion, guys and gals and pals, for others as a human being. Please take a look, if you will, at the one and only Brian Blair.
Soldiers, sailors, and airmen of the Allied Expeditionary Force, you are about to embark upon the great crusade toward which we have striven these many months. The eyes of the world are upon you. The hopes and prayers of liberty-loving people everywhere march with you. In company with our brave allies and brothers in arms on other fronts, you will bring about the destruction of the German war machine.
I'm sure the entire citizenry of the nation will join as one man in expressing stand faithfully behind the government.
The tide has turned. The free men of the world are marching together to victory. I have full confidence in your courage, devotion to duty, and skill in battle. We will accept nothing less than full victory.
Kurt Russell plays McCready, and also called Mac, and he is the only one that flies the helicopter. Well, Dinner and Movie is obviously the first and the wisest choice, because you have a chance to watch somebody else at a movie. First, you're going to enjoy a nice dinner and share some conversation. In order to have an unbiased reporting, you've got to report the facts. I don't care who the anchor person is, who the reporter is. I don't care who it is. If they're reporting from just their viewpoint, we're not getting an unbiased. We're not getting the unbiased news.
Guys and gals and pals, a favorite of many of yours, Brian Blair, of course, in this tournament where there's 131 Hall of Famers from the world of sports, music, pro wrestling, not to mention Oscar, Grammy, Tony, Emmy, Golden Globe, AMA, WJ, and Olympians, all competing for the pride of the prize. It's not merely the size, guys and gals. Take a look at my eyes. This thing here is going to explode even more. This is only round number 2. And guys, our second round is filled with people that mean a lot to me, and he's one of them. Our third participant is a big brother and a co-host. He's done so much for so many that he deserves quite the toast. His vast array of knowledge is plentiful, but there is something else, so give me a few minutes to boast. His humanity, it's absolute. He brings people together, even more so than a mid-70s Dean Martin roast. He understands the importance of work ethic as one must claw, scratch, and climb. Even then, the world owes us nothing. You want success? Work, grind, and put in the time. If anyone knows what resiliency is all about, it's this man, one of my co-hosts, as his talent and drive make him a rarity. He has a vast array of knowledge, and when he speaks, he conveys it all with clarity. I enjoy words, especially when they are backed with action. Life is hard, be heard. That's the word. It's simple math like a 4th grade fraction. The man owned and operated 4 Gold's Gyms of Tampa for over a decade. The man offered unconditional aid as there were countless people giving up on their elected officials as they prayed for someone like him to step into the arena as his purpose was pure. He could not be swayed. The state of Florida should throw the man a parade as no other suit and tie was as honest as him from Miami-Dade to the Everglades. Sure, as a professional wrestler, he'd sell out arenas, stadiums, and many a pavilion. But as an elected public servant in Hillsborough County, he served the taxpayers a ton. How much? Over $1 billion. This occurred over a 6-year span. People, rightly so, look up to him like Robin admiring Batman or Forrest Gump showing respect to Lieutenant Dan. With over a whopping 2,500 documented hours of community service, one might be nervous. That's such a schedule, guys and gals, would deprive anyone of sleep. But that's Brian, a man that goes fast. Faster than the Roadrunner, screaming meep, weep. His limitless hours of community service includes, but is not limited to 18 seasons of coaching youth, wrestling, baseball, and football. He's also a man of faith, so don't expect him to give in to pride before the fall. He also cleaned up the images of many, like Phoenix from The Odd Couple, kicking it with some Lysol. He realized that many of his colleagues weren't receiving the support that they deserved. The gall. For this alone, it was well-deserved when his name was called in 2015 to enter the Sacred Hall. On July 12, 2015, Blair received 2 major honors when the Thez Dragos arm of the Dan Gable Museum and Hall of Fame inducted him into their Hall of Fame. He was also awarded with a highly coveted Lou Thez Award. The reception was anything but tame. As owner of BBB Investment Services and author of the book Truth Be Told, he's a true Renaissance man, guys and gals, that isn't afraid to be bold because his life's journey is to be admired and his heart is made of gold. As the current president and CEO of the Cauliflower Alley Club, this man puts the needs of others first. He does this because he's always of service to others in need and is both, guys and gals, for him a hunger and a thirst. Let us marvel at his excellence and soak in the experience because he will help you become aware. Let's welcome a second rounder, co-host and big brother, the one and only Brian Blair. Welcome to round 2, my friend.
Oh, Avi, man, you are so unique, so talented, and that's why your show has over 70,000, almost 70,000 subscribers now. That is off the chain. I mean, I can't believe that you and the wonderful people behind the scenes, all the personalities that contribute, everybody, you guys have grown by leaps and bounds, and you are at the helm. You are the coach. You are the mouthpiece. You're the person that gets everybody over, gets the show over, gets to the point, and entertains everybody at the same time. And that's why, your future has no limits, Avi. You just keep doing what you're doing, my friend, and you're going to be able to write your own ticket.
It means a lot to me coming from you because I want everyone to know how direct and honest you are and how you don't play any games at all, guys. To know Brian off screen, it's to see him on screen as well. Very genuine, authentic. Our friendship means a lot to me. Your guidance and mentorship means a lot to me. Your guidance and mentorship means a lot to others. And again, thank you for being who you are to people that don't have a voice, for providing them a voice. President of the Cauliflower Alley Club is one thing. CEO is another. But to know that you work so very hard, and it's not about the green. It's about the in-between. It's about what you do for people that don't have a voice. That's your choice, and you stand up for them, and you do it every single day without pomp and circumstance, without cameras being documenting any of this stuff. My man, you are a Renaissance man, but you're a humanitarian as well. You care about people, and I'm glad you're in my life.
Thank you, Avi. It's faith and it's love and it's hope. It's all wrapped in one. And I'm just glad to be here this evening. Thank you so much.
I got to ask you this too, though, my friend. You are a competitor. You are one hell of a competitor. No matter what you ever attempted to excel in, you did just that through hard work, determination, and consistency. 15 grand, trip for 2 to Greece.
Wow.
Again, a lot on the line. Brian, you're in this. A lot of people say you're one of the favorites to win. I see why. Are you here to win the entire shebang, my friend?
Of course, nobody gets into a competition to lose. You know, I was raised poor, Avi, and I think everybody should be. You come from humble beginnings,
sure,
and you have to fight, scratch, and really scuffle to get where you want to be. And it's a great experience to look back, and I'm just very happy for what's happening now with this show.
Thank you.
With my life, with the lives around me, to be able to touch people, to be able to help people. It's
sure,
about giving back, and it's so rewarding to hear somebody go from tears to elation. And it's kind of been like that for so much of my life. And I give all the glory to God, and I thank you.
Well, you got a beautiful heart, my friend. And guys and gals, he's helping, he won't say this, but he's helping those who were affected by the hurricane, of course, in Florida, the Tampa area specifically as well, not to mention outside of that. We know Miles was affected by it. A lot of you guys and gals and pals were as well. Brian is here for everybody. There's no doubt. Guys and gals, this is Brian Blair, live in the Hive. We'll return very soon as well. No doubt, once we get our head above water after round 2. Brian Blair, guys and gals, Miles Avery, Larry Zbyszko, here they are. And here, guys and gals, are you. Welcome to the show. Welcome, everyone.
Thank you.
I got to tell you.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Miles. Hey, Larry.
I love the conversation you guys were having before the show, too. And, I know that this is a topic right now. I have to say this because why not boast about something meaningful? About a year and a half ago, a studio I worked for said this show, the concept is not going to work. Now those same people watch every single Saturday, and I love that. Because of guys like Brian, Larry, and Miles, and all of you in the comment section, and all the green roomers who Brian said are working hard as well to make this thing go. We're happy about that. And we're going to talk about something right now, guys and gals, that other people may not handle, but we can because we're mature, we're respectful. This is topic number 1. In January of '61, in his farewell address, Eisenhower warned against the establishment of a military-industrial complex. In private meetings, he warned his successor that policies will take a backseat to popularity in the world of politics. You know how I feel about that. JFK, of course, didn't get the memo. And after the Cuban Missile Crisis, he never trusted his military, guys and gals, and he said that publicly. And we know what happened. Our system has become too much like politics as sports. We root for our team regardless. Unfortunately, this isn't a game. Who we put in office isn't merely a matter of entertainment. We're dealing with important issues like affordable housing, education, infrastructure, persevering access to our public lands, accessible health care. Indeed, the focus on party instead of on people and policies continues to plague us. So as voters, do we contribute to this problem? Do we let the letter behind someone's name stand in for the research we should be doing on their proposed policies and record? Guys and gals, Brian, Larry, and Miles will unpack this, starting with Brian. And guys, rebuttals are allowed here. So at any point, Larry or Miles, when Brian is speaking, can lift the old index finger up. I'll pop in. They can rebut. There's no clock here. Brian, starting with you, do you think that we, as a people, have prioritized and supported the political parties and personalities rather than the policies? And if so, do you have any suggestions on how our citizens can pay closer attention to the policies that political figures place emphasis on? Are you ready to go, my friend?
Absolutely. I mean, there is no doubt that the public, the general public, has put party over policy, and there's nothing more important in our lives than policy. Policy affects everything in our lives. Let's talk from a national level right now, because we're in the midst of we're in the midst of all elections. But one of the reasons why independents make the difference in every election is because of partisan politics. And we have to look at the media. Too often we're thinking from emotion rather than reason. And too often we listen to the media, to that personality that's or to that certain network that's driving our decisions. And again, that's one of the reasons independents tend to study. They tend to look at different places to get their news, from online to radio to print to television. You have to look at a whole lot of different sources because, it's going to affect our security, our economy, our social lives, our personal lives. Everything we do in life is about policy. And let's look at, I'll give you a recent Axios poll. Only 31% of Americans trust the media today. And I'll give you a little analogy real quick. Benito Mussolini, I'm sure you guys have heard of Benito Mussolini. He was an evil dictator, a fascist. And he failed and he failed. He started a newspaper, which failed, and it failed, but gradually it started succeeding because he kept repeating the same message, this message that started to resonate with a lot of wealthy people, particularly from France, French influence in Italy. And eventually Benito Mussolini conquered Italy. And that's how World War II started, because he influenced Adolf Hitler. Adolf Hitler was influenced because of Mussolini, who came to power because of his newspapers, because of his writings, because of selling the people a lot of propaganda and a lot of goods. And that's something that we can't do. How do we change that? It needs to start with the mainstream media. They are the main culprits, and it's the billionaire elite class. It's people like from the World Economic Forum that want globalism. They don't believe in guys like us, common people, the everyday people. They want to rule. They want to rule everything. It started with the second industrial revolution, corporate greed. We hear that expression all the time, corporate greed. And the only way we're going to change this is people not thinking about celebrity endorsements. We need to think about cerebral endorsements. We need to think with our minds, our own brains. We need to look, we need to study, we need to look at the candidates' platforms. What are they saying? We need to look at their past performance, because it's a lot like a stock market disclaimer. Past performance in a stock market, actually, it's the opposite, because in a stock market, it says past performance is no indication of future performance. Whereas in a politician, if you look at his past and the decisions that they've made, that is probably the same decisions that they are going to make going forward. So that's very important. So we need to start thinking. We need to realize that your vote is so important. You need to go to the polls and vote like your vote was the deciding vote in every election, because it's our fundamental right. People have fought and died in this nation for the right to vote. And we can't let people, celebrities, we can't let the newspaper, the media, we cannot let them affect our cerebral knowledge. We have to go to the vote with total knowledge of what the candidates' policies are.
Appreciate that, Brian. Thank you, guys and gals and pals who are commenting as well. We appreciate you as well for giving us your thoughts and insight, as Brian, Blair, guys, went very deep. And of course, rebuttals are optional. They're not mandatory. Mr. Brian, Blair, guys and gals, delved into topic number one. Miles will be next to delve into topic number one as well. Miles, do you think that we as a people have prioritized and supported the political parties and personalities rather than the policies? And if so, do you have any suggestions on how our citizens can pay closer attention to the actual policies than political figures that place emphasis on? Guys, again, Brian and Larry can rebut Miles anytime they'd like. The old index finger. Miles, are you ready to go, good sir?
Absolutely. And Brian, that was so eloquently delivered. And if I could vote for you, I'd vote for you already. It was really, really, really good and thought-provoking, as this forum is to be thought-provoking. But absolutely, we have put certainly people ahead of policies and everything that we do. But we still, I think we control it, and we have to have a mandate on how things are done. And we, the people, we have to find a way to say, you're not talking about the policies that affect me, or that's going to affect my neighbor, that's going to affect everyone. And that's not what I want to hear. And I know everyone's been inundated with all of the television commercials and things like that. Let me show how bad this person is so you can vote for me. Well, obviously television, they're going to take all the money that they want. So it's all about following the dollar. But if I can outspend you and prove that you're a bad person, then I look better. And we have to say, that's not about the policies. I want to know how you're going to help me. I want to know what you're going to do here. I want to know what you're going to do there. And we haven't mandated that enough as voters. If you don't talk about your policies, then I'm not going to vote for you because of that. Not because you tell me that person is worse than you. That shouldn't be our only market to have to vote for. But it's all we seem to hear. And even as obviously, Brian, as you mentioned, you look at the media, they just follow suit and tell you what they for that network want you to hear. Not just reporting the news, but they certainly giving you what they think instead of that. And so it is up to the people to go out, and you have to do your research. You have to. That is what you have to do. And then you have to press the politicians to do their jobs in talking about what are you going to do about this as your policy? What is your stance on this? I haven't seen many town halls to give to the people to say to really press these politicians on issues. I haven't, and so all I see are those commercials. And if we can somehow get that mandate and people to really take a stand as citizens of this country to say, this is what we won't stand for this. We can control that. We, the people, can control that.
Appreciate that, Miles. Guys and gals, again, a lot of passion here, backed with knowledge from Brian, Blair, and Miles Avery. Clinton Portis is having some tech issues, guys. You might have heard my phone go off. Trying to see if we can get him in. We'll see if Clinton gets in or not. But guys and gals, this is topic number 1. Clinton has until the end of the second topic. And in case he pops in during topic 2, he'll have to sort of catch up and give us topic 1 and 2 back to back. That's what he'll have to do. But guys and gals, elimination round, you know how it goes. Mr. Larry Zbyszko, same question. Do you think we as people have prioritized and supported the political parties and personalities rather than the policies? And if so, do you have any suggestions on how our citizens can pay closer attention to the actual policies than political figures place emphasis on? Guys, again, Brian and Miles can rebut anytime they'd like. Larry, you ready to go, good sir?
Yeah, and I tell you, Brian and Miles, I can't argue with anything they said because we, the people, have the power. I mean, Hillary Clinton lost me when she was running because she looked at us and said, oh, you the people, you're the deplorables. No, I'm not a deplorable. You're out. So what I look at is not what they say. I want to look at what they did. If you're a career politician and been in office, great. What did you do? I don't want to hear anything. I want to know what you did and not what you say you're going to do, because we found out in past history that a lot of things they'll say anything to get into office, but then when they're into office, and Brian hit on a word you don't hear a lot, the globalists. No one realizes how these parasites like George Soros have influence and are bribing people under the table and all that nonsense, because the globalists want us to eat bugs, to quote, save the planet that's been here for 30 billion years. But when it comes to people running for office, they work for us. That's right. We, the people, have the power, and to just go by what they say or a stupid commercial, we have to go and look at their history. What did they really do? Did they really do what they said they were going to do, or didn't they? It's that simple. What did they really do?
Absolutely, guys and gals. At the end of the day, right? It's the result. It's not the pomp and circumstance, which again might get you somewhere, but can you stay there? Hopefully, I can't give up hope on our country, knowing that if an elected official wants to stay there and wants to make a difference, man, oh man, there got to be substance. Guys, before we kick it over to our judges, I just want to kind of bring this up here to our panel. And you don't have to react to it if you don't want to, but I think that I think it's weird how we invest in a lot of strange things in the U.S. because it's getting stranger and stranger. There was a time many generations ago when the goal was invest in infrastructure and build the country, invest in schools and build the people. But we're not doing that. We're just fighting each other right now. And if we're preoccupied with this fight and with these crazy divisions within our country, we'll never be able to focus the energy and resources we need in order to fix this. We'll slide through this for another couple of generations because the country overall is wealthy. We're still wealthy. We still have this residual wealth. Right? We may have exploited or not people for hundreds of years, depending on your opinion. But the stuff is getting sucked out. Our resources are getting concentrated in very few hands. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I would just, I mean, you're spot on. It's simply us against them right now. I mean, it's gotten to the point in this nation where I don't even recognize America as the country that I grew up in. I mean, purposely, the media has driven a spike between us. They tried to divide us by races, by genders, by whether you're gay, straight, whatever you are. Who cares what you are? Who cares what color you are? It doesn't matter. We want the same things. We want to put food on the table for our families. We want security. We want to have an economy that we can all grow in and participate in. Government was not made to be all things to all people. It's there to keep us safe, to set parameters, to abide by the Constitution that our forefathers. I mean, people have been envious. I've been to over 50 countries, and every country that I go to, you just cannot wait to get, if you're there long enough. I don't care if you're in Japan. I've spent over 2 years there, India, Malaysia, wherever you go. In Malaysia or Singapore, you see signs that say death for Dada, means drugs. You read the newspaper, a military man got hung for a few joints. I mean, we do not realize how great America is. Sure, we have our faults. Sure, we've made mistakes, but this is still the greatest nation in the planet.
It's I hearken back to, again, one item that I wasn't allowed to teach, but I hearken back to a conversation LBJ had in 64. So right before he decided to not run in 64, he had a conversation with the most trusted journalist of all time, guys and gals. And his nickname was Uncle. That's what I'm going to tell you. I want to see if our viewers know who I'm talking about. Mr. Cronkite. He had a conversation with Cronkite, and he said, "You're killing us out there." He meant Vietnam. He says, "What happened to journalistic reporting that doesn't have some sort of narrative or agenda?" That's what he was talking about. It was the first time, Vietnam was the first time where our media, for better or worse, depending on your opinion, and I'm not saying I have a dog in the fight, but it was the first time where the media was reporting an actual war that was taking place outside of this country. And they were doing it in such a way that I think, if you ask me, kind of promoted division, because people were sitting down having dinner and they were watching the news and seeing people's guts spill out of their bodies, Americans and Vietnamese. They were seeing clips of Ho Chi Minh rebuild the Ho Chi Minh Trail every day after it was being bombed, Apache helicopters. They were taken into the war, and they were given an insight into what was going on in ways that we haven't seen since then. Quick question. Is that something that needs to happen again? Should that be monitored and broadcast to the people? Such detail in terms of what happens in war, the ramifications. Some people say, yeah, let's not glamorize that. Let's see it. Some people might say, well, wait a minute, that can kill morale. What's your take on that?
Well, I certainly would say, what take are you going to give? People now, they're going to watch this network or that network. So you're going to get only one side. It's not going to be presented and just reported. It is going to have commentary. And that's the killer of it all. It's not just, this is how it is. And I don't know if Walter Cronkite did that, but certainly that's what would happen now.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing journalism, guys and gals and pals, across the board, left, right, blue. I'm not even talking about having, again, a dog in the fight here, but it's hackery. We're not seeing people essentially reporting news. What we're seeing are viewpoints that could be essentially affecting people that don't have any. And Absolutely. Maybe if we hear people that just report in an unbiased fashion, we're smart enough to make up the minds for ourselves.
Let me just state, I'm sorry, Larry, you're probably next, but while it's on my mind, I'm getting old too. You could read a book called by Saul Alinsky called Rules for Radicals. And that is exactly the playbook that is being used right now against this country. Divide them by race, spend all the money, bankrupt them, weaponize the government. Everything that Saul Alinsky did, Rules for Radicals, is about how to overcome a democracy. And that is taking place right before our eyes, but we have been captivated so much by the media, the stories, and just as this topic relates to, by the personalities, the parties, the celebrities, instead of looking at the cold, hard facts of what's going on right now in this nation. And I just pray that everybody wakes up. I pray every day that this nation wakes up and sees what's going on.
I love the passion. I love everything that's being typed here by our fans and viewers and green roomers. Love how in-depth the post-debate conversation is. Also, of course, powerful words. Larry, any thoughts about some of that?
Well, what Brian said basically is the same thing. We, the people, have the power, and the American people aren't stupid. You know, we're not what the Hillary called us. I forgot the word. I'm getting senile. But we have the power, and we're not stupid. And what we're going to do is forget the commercials, look over the last 4 years, and what happened in your life. Your rent went up for no reason. It's hard to feed your family. Your gas costs a lot. That hurts the trucking, the farmers, the ranchers, the stores, all because the first day in office, Biden shut down our energy independence, closed the Keystone Pipeline, 50,000 jobs disappear up in smoke. And then he goes crawling across on his knees the desert to beg the Saudis to sell us their oil more expensive. But we had our own energy independence. We had things going great. And I've heard this on TV, and it's hard to argue with. Are you better off now, or were you better off 4 years ago? And the answer is pretty simple. I mean, even one of my kids had to move out of their apartment because their rent went up $300 a month for no reason. There was no improvements. Nothing happened. They just decided, yeah, we'll just, get everybody in all these apartments pay $300 more. Why? What? I mean, it's getting ridiculous. And again, that's why I say when it comes to these politicians and elections, I don't think people are stupid anymore. And then I hear this term, suburban women. I'm surrounded by suburban women, and they're not happy because they're opening their wallets. There's no cash in the cash department. They have maxed out credit cards and other cards they're paying 23% interest on. And that's all due to the energy independence we lost because it was shut down. God, the open Anwar, it's a gold mine for America. But the jobs and people's lives, and people, again, don't listen to what they say. What did they do?
Those are great points, Larry, but it goes back to what Miles said. Miles hit the nail, the hammer on the nail
on the head.
Nail on the head when he said, hold them accountable. And the way we do that is by our votes. Everybody has to realize what everybody collaboratively has said in this topic. I think there's a lot of wisdom here, and we need to hit them back, hold them accountable, just like Miles said. Let's go. Let's all go vote. Let's hold them accountable.
There was a very well-known saying before the Dutch arrived here in the early 18th century, which translates to be reflective of what you claim. Be reflective of what you claim. And when you think of politicians across the board, guys and gals and pals, be reflective of what they claim, especially in their first term of office. Just remember that for a second. Because a lot of times people, including politicians and elected officials, may be powerless. They may have to do a little bit more. They may have to do things that they necessarily didn't want to. They may have policies they have to push that they weren't in favor of to get to that second term. We're going to have a topic about that coming up, guys and gals, as well. This is going to be probably in a few weeks. We're going to talk about the longevity of specifically a commander-in-chief in this country. Guys, we're going to bring in our judges right now. We have a couple in the back. And, of course, you guys can start voting on who resonates most with you. Voting is a positive thing. It means, of course, no one's better here. Who resonated most with you? There's no one better. These guys are legends, but not just because of their resume, but because of how they connect with all of you. I saw it right now. I've been seeing it since the dawn of TKN. And guys, you are seeing it as well. You will be voting in the comment section live right now. You can let us know why, or simply put the name of who you're voting for and why. It is cumulative, so after 2 topics, top 3 vote getters will move on to round number 3. Still waiting on Mr. Portis. Let's bring in Mr. Collado over here and see who he votes for and why.
Super honor to be on the screen with all 4 of you individuals, and all 3 of you guys really brought in some amazing points. Brian, I mean, for me, this question really became about what solutions do we have, right? What solutions do we have to this this problem? And Brian, you talked about thinking, the problem of thinking from emotion over reason, right? That's the problem. But, your solution, which I love, is change the media. And change the 1% that you were talking about. I love, let's think about cerebral endorsements, which I also love that you brought up. And then let's look at past performance as well. And we have to go to the ballot with full knowledge of policy. So amazing, great points. Miles, I love the fact that you hit the political commercials that we see. It attacks personality, right? But it doesn't talk about policy. And great point you brought up. Let's press the politicians press the politicians over the policies. And we need more town halls. You also talked about it, which I think is also a great point. And Larry, I love the simplicity in your message. It's what they do, right? Let's look at what they do, not what they say. So it really just became about numbers for me, who just gave more solutions. So my vote's going to go to Brian, but all 3 of you gentlemen brought so much of your minds and hearts to this debate. So thank you guys.
Thank you, Howard.
Thank you.
And I want your tie. I like your tie.
Matches Larry's shirt, though.
Yeah, boo on me.
Hey, guys, you're wondering, what is boo on me? I'm going to show you that right after this second topic. We're going to play a little bit of that, Larry, if you want as well.
Oh, God.
Can't wait for that. Guys, again, please, truth be told on Amazon, it's one hell of a read, guys. You got to pick it up if you haven't already. It chronicles the life of not just Brian Blair, the pro wrestler, Brian Blair, the man who inspired many, whether it was the athlete, whether it was the scholar. This man came from the ground up, worked his way up to become one of the most dedicated and humble servants of our time for the people. Larry Zbyszko, guys and gals, as well, has an incredible book, Larryland. Welcome to Larryland on Amazon as well, that you could buy. But we're also going to talk about the Unbreakable bunch. And guys, Miles Avery, who always does it on American Ninja, but always does it every day by helping the youth. We're going to talk about his gym as well, because he helps the youth every day get better. He trains them every day. And who better than someone who accomplished a lot as a gymnast than a fellow gymnast who can relate to people the way that Miles does, an Olympian. Guys, let's bring in Giselle and see who she votes for and why. And keep voting in the comment section.
Good evening. Welcome back to the Green Room, and welcome to round 2 of the Celebrity Tournament. I've been very excited about this match. Mr. Zbyszko, I love your passion. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Mr. Avery, much as Howard stated, I'm glad you brought up the commercials. It seems like everything from our cleaning solutions to our politicians are attacking the other side without telling me what they're good at and why they're better. And I'm like, just tell me about your product. If you start bashing the other product, I'm not going to buy your product too.
Bingo.
And Mr. Blair, you went into the history of how things work when you brought up Mussolini and his newspaper. You had the facts and the stats and the Axios poll, and you knew exactly what you wanted to change and how to change it. So my vote is going to you for this topic.
Thank you. Thank you, Giselle.
Thank you, Giselle. Appreciate you. Guys and gals and pals, again, our judges here are taking notes I can see in the back. And right now I'm going to pull up your votes and then a couple of your comments as well, to give these amazing participants a chance to kind of take a breather between topic 1 and 2. We'll hear your thoughts and earlier predictions of the match. Clinton, guys and gals, we'll see if he can get in here. I will blame StreamYard, not Clinton, because Clinton is definitely one fierce human being who loves the spirit of competition and also educating the masses. This, says Christopher Farnan, was a tough one. All 3 men did so well, but my vote has to go to B. Brian Blair. Thank you, Giselle, for tallying in the back as well. We appreciate you. Okay. We have one here from Chad. This is a tough vote, but I'm going to vote for Brian in topic number 1. Well done. Absolutely, guys. Whoever resonated most with you. We have another vote here from DJ Solo. My vote goes to Brian on this one. Thank you, Mr. Solo. Allison votes for Larry. Thank you, Allison, for your live vote as well. Appreciate that. Guys, more votes here, a lot more. I can't pull up all of them. And Michael Gross, action means more than words. You're right about that. Although your words in the form of a vote would be awesome, so let us know who you vote for right now. April Snyder votes for Brian. Thank you, April. Appreciate that. Appreciate all you guys inviting us to your living room tonight on a Saturday. Julio Negron, first topic and already so hard to judge, but I loved how Larry nailed his points to express his opinion. I go Larry on this one. Thank you, Julio. Appreciate that. We have a vote from Lester Cook. Going with Miles on this one. Larry Lemley can vote for one, my friend. Brian and Miles, let us know who you think eked it out. Michael, there we go. I vote for Larry. Thank you. Okay. I vote for my Larry. Okay.
Thank you.
Larry, Michael, let us know there what you're talking about. Naomi votes for Miles. Okay. April, also Brian and Miles. Again, this is close. I know it's tough. If I could put 2 names or multiple, I would as well. Johnny McKinney, B. Brian Blair gets your vote. Thank you again. All right, guys. Sharon votes for Miles. Thank you, Sharon. Appreciate you from Hawaii joining us here. All right. Knowledgeable indeed. What a great panel we have here, guys. What a treat, huh, to have Miles, Larry, and Brian educate us. Jamie votes for Brian Blair. Okay. And Larry, that's okay. My vote is for Brian. Appreciate you. And greatest punch in the business, Mr. Cook votes for Brian. Thank you, Bob Cook. Appreciate you. All right. Hillary voting for Miles. Absolutely. And Bob, I do love the latest Evel Knievel post that you put up. I thought that was really neat. Were you guys fans of Evel Knievel?
Absolutely.
Yes.
He was fun to watch. He was insane.
Yeah.
Bob Cook is the master. He was personal friends with Evel Knievel and had all kinds of his paraphernalia.
Sure.
He'd have to tell you. I think he's got everything from his motorcycle to his underwear. So
yeah, it's like a museum, and you're right. Personal experience with Evel as well. We have a couple more votes. Says Zone 280. My vote goes for Miles. Love the fact that he brought up we need more town halls. You're right about that. Thank you very much. Guys and gals and pals. Okay. This is a quick moment of levity for Brian, Miles, and Larry. Just a quick question over here. Just an observation. Why do we park in a driveway and drive in a parkway?
Because you park in a driveway so your car can rest and be safe. We drive in a parkway to get to where we're going, but we're not real safe.
I never thought of that. It's mind-blowing. That's true. That's probably why. Hey, if Carmen Sandiego and Waldo ever got together, would their offspring just be completely invisible? I think stuff I think about at night. I don't know. Do you guys ever feel pressure being the one with a remote control in a room full of people? Is there pressure being the one with a remote?
Absolutely.
Someone's got to be a leader. Someone's got to take it.
Yeah.
I mean, like a family gathering, right? Somebody wants to watch this. Somebody wants to watch that. You want to watch something completely different. Is there pressure to switch the channel? Is there any sort of peer pressure, guys? Have you ever felt that?
There's 4 TVs in this house, so they can go to some other TV.
Everybody go to their room.
Yeah.
That's a good solution right there.
And you don't park on a parkway because then someone will run into you.
It's very true, actually. Yeah, guys. This is right now, guys and gals, our second topic coming up on the horizon, but a couple of review points because we want to make sure you're part of the show as well on camera. So your thoughts, you recorded your videos about who you think might win, who might advance. Let's play some of your thoughts about this match right now.
Good evening, beautiful Green Room Nation. Tonight is going to be fire. We have not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 star-studded competitors. Let me make the rundown. So we've got Pro Wrestling Hall of Famer Brian Blair, Hall of Fame gymnastics coach Miles Avery, College Football Hall of Famer Clinton Portis, and WWE Hall of Famer Larry Zbyszko. This is going to be a matchup of matchups, and only 3 out of the 4 get to move on to round 3. So who's it gonna be? Ooh, it's a tough one. I will say that Miles Avery, as the oldest American Ninja, is definitely on my top number 1 to make it through. As for the other 2, that's a harder ask. I'm gonna say Clinton Portis and Brian Blair. Who do you think is gonna move on? Guess we're gonna find out pretty soon. Let's go!
Wow, tonight gonna be amazing. 4 Hall of Famers, one awesome night. U.S. coach, Hall of Famer Miles Avery going against college football Hall of Famer Clinton Portis, going against WWE Hall of Famer Larry Zbyszko, going against Pro Wrestling Hall of Famer B. Brian Blair. It's gonna be frigging awesome. 3 out of 4 move on, 1 go home. Who will it be? Who will advance? I firmly believe we're gonna see Larry Zbyszko move on. We're gonna see B. Brian Blair get the top vote, and we're also going to see Miles Avery move on. That's just my prediction, but as I said, stay tuned for tonight's big match, and let's all see on who moves on. Catch you all there tonight. It should be a great show.
Welcome to episode 213 of The Green Room on TKN, featuring the Celebrity Grand Tournament. And tonight you have matchup number 5 of round 2, and this is our first Fatal 4-Way. You have one half of the Killer Bees, B. Brian Blair, the living legend Larry Zbyszko, NFL great Clinton Portis, and Hall of Fame gymnastics coach Miles Avery. All 4 are going to bring the fire. But this is my breakdown. B. Brian Blair is going to take the top vote because he's just that good. Now, I think Miles Avery is going to sneak in and take that number 2 position. That leaves Larry. That leaves Clinton. I think Clinton's going to pull another come-from-behind victory on topic 2 and send the living legend Larry Zbyszko home empty-handed. That's the way Kelly J. White sees it. Let me know if you agree.
Hello, TKN fam. How you doing? How you doing? We have a huge 4-way match tonight. 4 Hall of Famers in 1 TKN match. Now that's huge. We have we got WWE Hall of Famer Larry Zbyszko. We have Pro Wrestling Hall of Famer Brian Blair. We have College Football Hall of Famer Clinton Portis. And we have Gymnastics Hall of Famer Miles Avery returning. Now, as for predictions, I gotta go with Miles Avery. I gotta go with Larry Zbyszko. And I gotta go with Brian Blair as the top vote getter. Huge match. Big Fatal 4-Way match. Hope you're excited as I am. Alright, take it easy, y'all.
Right now, one of the biggest nights yet. It's the first time we get to see 4 contestants, 4 celebrities going head to head to head to head. They're not just celebrities, they're all Hall of Famers. First time. Larry Zbyszko, Brian Blair, Clinton Portis, and Miles Avery. All going head to head to see who's going to get that top spot. Who do you think's going to win? Because it's all up to you guys. Me? I think Brian Blair and Larry Zbyszko are going to go head to head for that top spot. I think that Miles Avery and Clinton Portis are going head to head for that second spot. Although it all comes down to who resonates with you most. So take your time and think. Because one of them has to go home. You get to decide that.
Tonight, TKN Celebrity Grand Tournament Round 2, Night 5. We've got a 4-way match, which means 4 people competing, 3 will move forward. Unfortunately, 1 has to go home. They are all celebrities, so this will be the second celebrity elimination tonight. We have Hall of Famer gymnastics coach Miles Avery. I think he's going to move forward in this. College football Hall of Famer Clinton Portis. I'm not sure, but he's fun to watch. And then WWE Hall of Fame, the living legend Larry Zbyszko. Great storyteller. I don't know if he's moving forward though. And then Pro Wrestling Hall of Famer B. Brian Blair, one of my favorites for this entire tournament. The man is just captivating to watch. Good luck to all of you, and I'm sorry to whoever has to go home, but looking forward to it.
Damas y caballeros, ladies and gentlemen, tonight we are in store for a action-packed, intellectual, psychological, mental, and you name it, matchup, guys. Because what we have is gymnastics, men's gymnastics Hall of Fame coach Miles Avery going up against Pro Wrestling Hall of Famer Brian Blair, WWE Hall of Famer Larry Zbyszko, and College Football Hall of Famer Clinton Portis. Guys, that is right. It is the first four-way of the celebrity tournament match. It's happening tonight. First four-way. Okay, what does that mean? That means that 3 out of the 4 will advance to round 3. 3 out of the 4 will advance to round 3. And 1 will be eliminated. 1 will be going home tonight. And that's a shame because all 4 men bring such a varied set of experiences and insights and perspectives, right? But my prediction, well, I've seen Brian Blair in action. Sharp-witted man. Also just really lays it all out there, you know, intellectually, mentally, emotionally. Also very strong rebuttal game there. I think Brian Blair will be coming out on top. I also see Miles Avery, you know, another amazing luminary who really had a great showing with Eric Bischoff and Grant Fuhr. Really brought such a beautiful personal story on his own as well. So I think Miles Avery will definitely be going out on top as well. And it's really going to be a toss-up between Larry Zbyszko and Clinton Portis. Again, both strong competitors. I think it's going to be Clinton Portis by a hair. But again, guys, you don't want to miss what's going to happen tonight because it is going down. It's going to be puro fuego, pure fire tonight. Again, 3 out of the 4 will be advancing to round number 2. 4 Hall of Famers, guys. We got 4 Hall of Famers. So, guys, you don't want to miss tonight. It's going to be a event. It's going to be a transformative event. That's right. Happening only in TKN, baby. Let's do it.
Hey, what's going on, Green Rumor guys and gals? It's your boy, Icon, aka JW, and tonight's the night it goes down once again. Who's gonna come out on top? Who's gonna be the winner as they go head to head to head to head? We got Miles Avery, we got Clinton Portis, we got Larry Zbyszko and Brian Blair. Who's gonna win? Who's gonna get eliminated? Who moves on to the next round? We'll find out tonight. Catch you on the Green Room.
Hello everyone, it's Miranda here, and we are going to turn up tonight on the Green Room once again. It's going to be an amazing quadruple match. Where do you find that? Quadruple match between Larry Zbyszko, who is a WWE Hall of Famer, Brian Blair, who is a Pro Wrestling Hall of Famer, Clinton Portis, who is a College Football Hall of Famer, and then you've got Miles Avery, who is a Gymnastics Coach Hall of Famer. Tonight is a night of Hall of Famers, and unfortunately, one of them is going to be eliminated. You never know what's going to happen on the Green Room. The topics are going to be amazing. The stories are going to be amazing. Conversations between Avi, the Green Roomers, competitors, going to be amazing. So tune in, okay? Exclusively on YouTube, www.youtube.com/@the-new-network, KNEW, live at 8 p.m. tonight. See you guys there.
Well, there you have it, guys. What are your thoughts of the amazing viewers there and Green Rumors making their predictions?
They should be competing. I'd like to watch.
Yeah, they're very smart, and I tell you, it's hard to argue because Brian and Miles I'd vote for them too. I mean,
God almighty.
I mean, we're all kind of on the same page.
I am so glad I don't have to vote. Really,
Yeah,
if I did, my hair wouldn't look
one.
pristine. It'd be wild, believe me, if I had to vote. It is. No, it's tough. It's tough. I think I want to put this in words. The toughest thing about voting, I think, is hearing someone's perspective and saying, I can resonate. That really relates to me on a personal level, on a deep level. Then you hear somebody else and you feel the same way. And now in real time, you have to grab the old index fingers and type away and pick someone that you vote for. It's not an easy thing. So to all of you guys and gals and pals voting and commenting, we appreciate you as well. Thank you for taking the time to do so. Guys, topic number 2 right now, because again, there's nothing wrong with the spirit of competition when it's done right. This is competitive camaraderie. We are philosophically fun. This is edutainment, where we marry the words entertainment and education. You are seeing that on full display. And guys and gals, we thrive because we do it live. Not a lot of people could say they do it live. We do it here live every Saturday night, guys and gals. Never missed a show. And again, that's because of people like you, Brian, Larry, Miles, giving it their all. Guys, topic number 2 is upon us right now. And if Clinton pops in wrestling, they use the term run-in. If Clinton pops in, he's going to have to catch up and delve into topic number 1 before the buzzer, so to speak. This is our final topic. Guys, think of executives. Think of their workday. They spend a lot of time asking for information. A lot of execs. They request status updates from a team leader, for example, and I hate those. Or they question a counterpart in a tense negotiation. But unlike professionals such as litigators and journalists and doctors, they're taught how to ask questions. Few executives think of questioning as a skill that can be owned. They don't consider how their own answers to questions can make conversations, dare I say, more productive. Perhaps the most important question we can ask is the following. What am I going to ask myself? So, guys and gals, our thought-provoking question, we're going to kind of flip it around a little bit and start with Miles this time. Miles will tackle this first. Miles, which of the following types of intelligence do you value most? Logical/mathematical, social/interpersonal, or visual/artistic? Are you ready to go, my friend?
I am, and I thought if I were a politician, I think people would say, wow, you're a flip-flopper, because, as I think about one of these, logical, mathematical, social, interpersonal, visual, artistic, I went from one to the other. Which one would I value the most? And certainly, thinking logically and mathematically to get an answer. And obviously 1 and 1 is 2. That's a very logical progression of where things are going. So obviously that's important to honesty and truth and the value of where you're going. And then I said, well, social, interpersonal, obviously dealing with people and being a leader and how you lead people. There's all different kinds of leaders, but to be one that is inclusionary and you care about people, that is so valuable, and it is. And again, I think all 3 of these are valuable. But as I looked at the visual and the artistic, I said, to me, that also leads me to creativity, and for leaders to ask the right questions to get to, the organization, to get your team to where you want it to be. You have to be in a place to ask those questions, to be creative sometimes and think outside the box. And the way to success, even in certainly in my ninja business, I knew that there was going to be something about this racing theme. As if anyone watches American Ninja Warrior, you see that racing is the way to go, and it's so exciting. But you ask the right questions. And so then, okay, I'm going to build my business based on a vision, something that I think. Let me ask these people. Let me ask those people. And yourself asking the right questions. All right, well, am I going to invest in? Am I going to build this gym to set myself up for racing, for a future? And so that visual, that artistic way, I think, is the most important to get the most out of people thinking beyond of what's going on right now. To be a visionary leader for others is an amazing thing to do. To see people going in the direction that you want, just by you having a vision and you asking the right questions and bringing the best out of them. And so I'm going to go with visual and artistic, but I'd put a caveat, creativity as well.
I appreciate that. And dare I say, Miles and Brian and Larry guys are visionaries, because it's one thing to want something, but you have to be able to see sometimes the pratfalls and know how you can adjust. Sometimes there's a way to prevent that just by thinking about what the pratfall might feel like, what that might be like. Brian, Miles, and Larry have done just that. That's why they've excelled. And right now, guys and gals, I'm going to kick it over to Mr. Larry Zbyszko with that same question. Which of the following types of intelligence do you value most? Logical/mathematical, social/interpersonal, or visual/artistic? Are you ready to go, my friend?
I think so. I'm totally confused. And actually, I could just repeat everything Miles said. He was great. But I'm sorry, I'm Polish. Let me see. But what we are is we're a race of human beings, and we communicate with each other. So to listen to other people's views and what other people think, and then weigh it in your mind. And if I was a boss, I would talk to my employees and get different ideas from what they're doing and what they see out in the road or what they hear from people. So I know everything, because the more information I get, the more I can make the best decision for my employees and my business. I don't even know if I'm answering the right question.
Absolutely. Again, Larry, let me ask you this, because, we can all value logical intelligence and social intelligence and visual intelligence. But for you, if you were to prioritize which ones you value first, logical, social, or visual?
Well, if you use the social, then you can get all kind of information, and use the logical to get the best answer, the best results. So I don't know, B and C.
No, I appreciate your perspective, because sometimes they feed into each other. They really do.
Yeah, they kind of come together, where you want the information from other people, so you can use the word you used, artistic,
sure,
cerebellum thinking, to put all the information together so you know what the best move is to do.
That's a good point. That is a good point. One can't work without the other. Yeah, sure. Mr. Brian Blair, I'm going to ask you the same question, my friend. Which of the following types of intelligence do you value most? Logical, mathematical, social, interpersonal, or visual, artistic? Are you ready to go, good friend?
Yes, I'm just trying to suck up my back here. I think logical, mathematical intelligence is the ability to think and logically reason mathematically, for example, dealing with finances, social problems. You have to apply logical and mathematical intelligence to our everyday lives. If you want to be successful, this is extremely important. They're all three important. Social interpersonal intelligence, to me, is the ability to understand not only your actions, but the actions of others as well. And you can drive a lot. You can really do a lot with interpersonal relationships, personal experiences, as far as decision making for your businesses, for your everyday life. You learn from your personal experience as well as your failures. Personalities like take Oprah Winfrey to Reverend Billy Graham. Their social interpersonal intelligence is just off the chain. Visual and artistic intelligence is unique and different as well. It's the ability to perceive, to analyze, manipulate visual information, from traffic signs to a Vincent van Gogh painting. Visual and artistic intelligence is a tremendous asset. And it kind of goes back to the first question of the political parties and personalities rather than policies. It's not only how you perceive things, but it's the reality of the picture that you're seeing. So I think all three of these are extremely important. But to me, I think that logical and mathematical thinking will make you more successful. Again, depending on what you choose to do in life. I mean, but for the everyday person that wants to be a mechanic, that wants to be an attorney and an accountant, you have to have logical, mathematical intelligence to be able to decipher the information that you learn, you're taught, and you comprehend.
I appreciate that, Mr. Blair. Absolutely. Guys, again, you're right about this DJ Solo going very deep. And that's really kind of why I try to conceptualize these topics and put them together, because we could learn from ourselves sometimes when we think about questions we never really paid any mind to. But guys, don't pay any mind to me right now, because we're done. We're going to find out now who advanced to round number 3 right now. And right now, guys, and as soon as we find out, I got a quick video for Brian Blair. He'll depart us first, and then Larry, and then Miles, and then Clinton, guys, out here right now with us. Let's vote real quick here. Let's find out who made it to round number 3. Guys and gals, and I'm going to ask this to Brian, Larry, and Miles as well. How do you feel about that? The moment is upon us. You're going to find out if you're in round number 3. Is that an exciting feeling?
It is. It absolutely is. Let's go.
Let's do it.
It's exciting for me. I just wondered I hope people understood what I said, because some of these questions, I mean, the last one was tricky because it was kind of a combo kind of thing. But it's not easy being Polish. I grew up with the Polish jokes, so.
Well, you know what? There's no joke when I tell you. I'm being very serious when I say that you definitely resonate with all of us. And of course, you made perfect sense, which makes this so tough to vote, I'm sure. And guys, again,
the other guys, Brian and Miles, are so smart. This is a good one.
And you've educated everyone too, Larry. Trust me.
Yeah. Well, to me, by applying deductive reasoning and logical mathematical intelligence, since Clinton Porter's not here, all 3 of us should move on to the next round.
Yes, I agree with
no spoilers. No spoilers here, guys. Let's get those votes here really quickly. As a matter of fact, I think Brian's right. Guys and gals, I'm going to make this announcement right now. Your votes matter, but again, we talked about mathematical logic. I would be a hypocrite if I weren't to go ahead and abide by what I wrote for this topic. Let's apply logic, mathematically speaking, that is, in real time. And guys and gals, maybe I'll get a reaction from Larry, Brian, and Miles, because they're going to find out in about 5 seconds. Guys and gals, in round number 3 of the TKN Celebrity Tournament, please give it up for B. Brian Blair, Larry Zbyszko, and Miles Avery, Howard, Giselle. Let's give it up to them in the back as well. Clinton Portis, hey, you're awesome. You're great. I did say it's not your fault. You tried signing in. But, hey, at the end of the day, guys, this is a tournament. Tech or otherwise here, they are moving on over here. Larry, Miles, Brian, quickly, your thoughts about being in round number 3 officially.
Well, I'm really excited about it. I hope my back doesn't hurt as much as it does right now, which is no excuse, but I've had 5 back operations.
No, of course.
Oh, my God.
Anyway, I'm steel from the bottom of from the start of my butt crack all the way up to my neck.
Oh my God!
It looks like a railroad track.
Yeah, what you've been through, man.
Train.
Yeah.
But that's no reason. I'm just in case you're wondering why I'm squirming, it's just because my back hurts.
Pain.
And no, I love you guys. It was beautiful. I mean, you know what I love the most about this show, honestly, Avi, of course, you direct the traffic, but the vignettes that you did with the participants was amazing. I truly enjoyed that. I mean, I thought every one of those were brilliant, and it's just it's an honor to be here. It really is. It's great to meet. And well, of course, I know Larry. I've wrestled in the ring with Larry, but Miles is a very intelligent, articulate gentleman.
Oh yeah.
And I can tell why he's been successful in his life.
No doubt.
Smart, good looking. I can tell he's motivated, educated, and he's heading in the right direction. And I'm so grateful that you're influencing the people that you've influenced. That's a tremendous thing, Miles. God bless you.
Yeah, and Miles is helping a lot of people with that disasters.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Miles and Brian both doing that, no doubt. And Brian, I'm going to keep you on here for about 60 seconds.
Okay.
But hey, how about this, Brian? In Miles, we know an American Ninja. How about that? That's pretty cool. Mr. Miles Avery and Larry Zbyszko, I'm going to put you backstage for one moment. I got a video for you guys as well that I cooked up for you guys. Let me put you backstage for one quick moment. Brian, again, thank you so much for being you, my friend. I want to play this for you because, again, you deserve it. And this is also guys and gals, an official third round acceptance, if you will, from me to Mr. Brian Blair, who made it to round number 3. Guys and gals, that is a friend. That is a man. That is someone who is absolutely worthy of the word brother. I mean that from the heart, my friend.
Avi, that was so touching and so beautiful. I can't tell you how much I appreciate that, brother. Thank you very, very much from the bottom of my heart. That was amazing. If you could please send me a copy of that, I would be forever grateful.
I'd be happy to. You deserve it. You've touched a lot of lives, Brian, and you're going to continue doing so. And I'm in your corner no matter what, my friend. I hope you know that. So,
thank you.
And hey, Brian, round number 3. Congrats.
Thank you. It's awesome. It's great to be here. I mean, it seems like it's been a long time, and it's been a lot of matches and a lot of very intelligent, articulate people, from Ray Lloyd, who got a second chance round. That was a very tough match, and I was very proud of that. But, there's rules are the rules.
And luckily, no more second chance. That's it.
I'm just grateful to be here and to be a part of, glad to be on the ship and taking the sail to wherever we're going.
Guys, Live in the Hive will return as well. And remember, guys, please give it up to Mr. Brian Blair. Thank you again. I know what you're going through physically, my friend. I appreciate you a ton. I hope you have a great rest of the weekend.
Thank you so much, Avi. God bless you.
God bless you.
Everybody. Thank you.
Absolutely. Mr. Brian Blair, guys, Hall of Fame human, Hall of Fame talent, wonderful human being. And guys and gals, from Hall of Famer to living legend and Hall of Famer, Mr. Larry Zbyszko, I got to tell you, I love the smile. I love your enthusiasm. Maybe our viewers might like a little bit of this.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I promised it, Larry.
Yeah. Boo on me.
We got to hear this.
Oh, God.
It's great.
I'm the man that you all love to hate. So come on, everybody. I know you just can't wait.
That's amazing.
The boo on me. The boo on me. The boo on me. I made you cry. Oh, and I made you see red. That's what he said. When I picked up a chair, they hit some old man on the head.
On the head.
Come on, boo on me.
Boo on me. Boo on me. Boo on me.
Understand. You're all jealous.
Let's see that shirt one more time, Larry.
There
we go.
Oh, man, I look like Hercules.
Yeah. It's so catchy.
But yeah, I mean, you know what? It was weird because at one of the WrestleManias, I met Shane McMahon.
Right.
And I haven't seen Shane McMahon since he was a little kid.
Sure.
And I went to introduce myself. I went, "Hey, Shane." I said, "Nice to meet you." And before I could say anything, Shane started dancing around going, "Boo on me, boo on me." And it freaked me out. I went, "What?"
Sure.
And I find out that I sent Vince a copy of Boo on Me on cassette in 1980.
Right.
And Shane, as a little kid, would sit in Vince's office while his
listen
dad was working and would listen to Boo on Me on the headset.
Oh, that says a lot. It's so catchy and it's so wonderful. Guys, I got to say this before I play a quick video for Mr. Zbyszko, who's in the third round now officially. Clinton Portis, we wish you well, my friend, guys. Clinton did not advance. Larry, Miles, and Brian did. Man, oh, man, Friday, we've been part of this journey. I behind the scenes, you in front of the camera and on set. Man, the Unbreakable Bunch. It's going to be happening, Larry.
This Friday, the movie is coming out. Ray and Luther worked their butts off for 10 years. Again, it's a science fiction, thriller, action-packed, family-friendly movie. And Friday, it's going to be on Prime something.
I believe it's going to be on Prime, yeah. And we're working to get it out even more, as much as we can.
And other streaming things, which I don't know anything about much, because I'm on a flip phone. So,
but guys, again, I'm going to embarrass Larry here. Great scenes. One take Jake. He did a lot of stuff that was absolutely amazing with one take. I've been in the film industry for a long time, and when I saw the rough cut that Ray sent me, Larry was incredible. The cast was incredible. The story's incredible. If you're a wrestling fan, you got something. But even if you're not a wrestling fan, if you're a fan of good storyline, that film is for you.
Yeah, it's not a wrestling movie,
No.
So if you're not a wrestling fan, you'll still love it.
No doubt. And I hope you love this, Larry, because this is for me to you, my friend. Family's what it's all about, my friend. And you
You're amazing, Avi. I tell you, amazing what you can do with these memories.
You deserve that, man. You've, like I said, you touched a lot of lives. Your family loves you, as you know, and a lot of people resonate with you as a human being. And I'm glad people are getting to know you as the great human being that you are.
Yeah, and I hope everybody realizes that we're all one race, the human race.
Yes.
We're all the same. We're all the human race. We're all everybody. We're all love. We should be helping everybody and all live happily ever after.
Into that. Man, did you have a nice time tonight, my friend?
Yeah, and it was interesting. The questions were kind of tricky and tough. And then listening to Brian and Miles, I mean, they were sharp guys. I mean, it was really cool. I mean, and it was a tricky question, the last one, but it was fun, interesting, and you're playing against guys who were great guys and
sure
people, but they were smart, and I didn't realize how much stuff Brian was involved.
Oh my gosh,
he's really a sharp guy.
So sharp, and again, you're the same way. You won't say it, but a lot of people in the comment section picked up on that. You've educated people tonight, and guys and gals and pals, you may see Larry since round number 3 and round number 2 is going to go on for a while. You might see him come back as a judge because his spot is secure in round number 3. You feeling happy that you're going to round number 3, my friend?
Yeah, when do I win the 15,000?
3 more rounds to go. 3 more to go.
Hey!
There we go. My friend, appreciate you. I hope you have a great rest of the weekend, sir.
Well, I will. And you have a great Halloween. And next Friday, the Unbreakable Bunch.
November 1st. Can't wait.
Me either.
Have a great night, my friend.
Thank you, Avi.
You got it. Classy individual, guys. Larry Zbyszko, a class act. No doubt about it. Hall of Fame human, Hall of Fame person. Becoming a fast friend. I really respect that man a ton. And I respect the following individual a ton because he had the respect to still find battery on his phone to text me on the debut night of round number 2 when he was scheduled to go against Tank Abbott and Teddy Long. He didn't have to do that. He was saving lives. He was helping people. He's still helping people. We're recovering from this horrible hurricane. So, Mr. Miles Avery, I forever salute you, my friend.
Absolutely, Avi. Just thank you for the platform.
Oh, 100%, my friend. Again, this was a night of education, and I'm glad that there were so many people that realized how much gusto you have, but being able to resonate with us on a vast array of different topics. I feel like I had the best seat in the house because I was sitting back processing everything as well. So I thank you for that.
Yeah, it's just so interesting. And obviously the questions are meant to be thought-provoking. And I just love that about this forum. And I really appreciate you, Avi. Thank you.
Likewise, my friend, you are awesome. And again, to know you is definitely to appreciate you. And I do hope, my friend, sincerely that you do appreciate the following. And guys and gals and pals, stick around because we're not done just yet. I will say this, though. Round number 3 is going to be tough. If Miles Avery, Larry Zbyszko, and Brian Blair are in it, they are officially in it. But I hope, guys and gals and pals, that you also appreciate the following. It's from me to Miles. Well,
thank you so much, Avi. That was really, really touching, moving always.
It was an honor putting it together because you know about a person's story through books, through columns, through maybe conversations of mutual friends that you and I share. But to be able to see that all come together was a joy for me because we went through different decades and generations. And one thing that was constant about that video was smiles. And you make people smile. You got a great smile. And, you know, a lot of people appreciate you. And I hope you appreciate yourself, my friend.
I do. I appreciate what I get to do, you know, and be blessed with these little ones that, you know, just light up my day. The pinnacle of my day is going in the gym, coaching these little ones, and I just look forward to it every day. What a blessed man I am.
Well, and we're blessed for knowing you. We're going to let people know a bit more when you send me information about how we can help as well. I know you didn't propose that. I'm proposing that because, again, Miles is a hero, much like Brian Blair, going out to the community, helping people that have no way to recover or rebound. That's what you're doing every day.
Yes.
Miles, I'll ask you the same question, my friend. Did you have a nice time tonight?
I did. I had fun, and obviously with Brian and Larry, and wish Clinton could have gotten in there as well. But you know, it is a really good time. I just, you know, I look forward to the next one. I'm in round 3. I won't buy a white suit for Mykonos just yet. I'll wait. I'll wait a couple more rounds, and we'll see about that.
I love that. I love your confidence, and I love what you do for everybody, my friend. I hope you have a great rest of the weekend.
I shall. You as well, bro. Avi.
Thank you, my friend.
Thank you.
There you have it, guys and gals. Hall of Fame men, Hall of Fame athletes. And I love your Hall of Fame comments, guys, because you keep it positive. I love this community. You guys have such a great time respecting each other in such a civil fashion. And I love that we're showing everybody that we can have a nice time and embracing each other and not really separating each other. That's what the goal of this show really is. And with people like Miles and Brian and Larry Zbyszko and Giselle and Howard and all of you, we can't go wrong. And that's how I feel about it. So, guys, I'm going to officially go backstage for a few moments and let the old hair down. And that means that Giselle and Howard are going to take it away while I take a swig of some water. You've seen this old mug a while tonight. So, Howard and Giselle, the floor is yours.
Hi, Howard.
What's up, Giselle?
I would love to delve into this second topic and our thoughts on that, since all 3 advanced and we didn't really talk about it after they answered their questions. So who would have been your vote and why?
That's literally what I was going to ask you. No, first of all, Avi, great on those topics. Again, hard-hitting, in-depth, and really nuanced. You know, what I wrote down is, you know, logical and mathematical thinking will help you build and construct and deconstruct, and that is very necessary. But what are you building? Where does the vision, the idea for what you're building come from? And so I was leaning towards what Miles talked about, that the visual and the artistic is really what he, you know, gives a lot of emphasis to, because you have to have that vision, right? And having that capacity to break out of the box of where you've been placed, which is kind of what we do on the show as well. So that would be so my vote would have gone to Miles, but I'm curious, Giselle. Oh, and by the way, I would love for Larry to be my boss. Think about that. You know, someone who actually checks in with their employees to think about, you know, ask their opinion. What? So I'd like Larry to be my boss. So what were you thinking? What were your thoughts?
That would be pretty amazing. I found it very endearing how Larry was working out the question in his brain on screen, and we could see him working it out and processing it and thinking about it and wondering if he's taking it in the right direction. And of course you are, because whichever direction, however you understand the question, is the way to take it. Brian Blair broke down the different options we had here and gave us why they are each important, and they are each very important. Yeah. And you need to know when to use them and how to use them and which people respond to which one better. But much like you, my vote would have gone to Miles Avery for this one as well. He also broke them down a little bit and made us realize what each section was used for. But he flat out said the artistic is the most important to get people thinking and beyond. But we also have to remember there is logic and there is math in the arts. If we take visual arts, paintings, do we not have shapes?
Yeah.
Do we not have lines? Do we not have gradients of color? If we take dance, again, we're counting the music. We also have shapes on stage. Any kind of entertainer and performer creates those shapes and lines to create visual interest. So I do think these absolutely go hand in hand. And the arts also teaches a lot of that social emotional learning and interpersonal skills. I hope places are still doing this, but there was a time where medical students were required to take acting courses because it helps with their bedside manner.
Oh, wow. I had no idea. That's
Guys
cool.
and gals, that's a great point, actually. Wow. And I'm going to ask you right after this video if you think that should still be instituted or not. Guys, this is the part of the show I'm not fond of because we do have to bid adieu to somebody. This is a tournament here. Guys and gals, he's a great human being. He's a gentleman. Got to know him a bit as well. But guys and gals, it's a tournament. And again, this is a bit of a farewell video for one of our participants that was so impactful in round number 1, and I'm sure would have been as impactful in round number 2. First name Clinton, last name Portis. Welcome, my friend, to the celebrity tournament.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me. I need whatever you on. I need my energy to be to that level at all times.
No, man, you deserve, again, every bit of it. And you know what? I got to say this to you, man. I don't know how this comes across, but I'll say it live. I can spot read it, man. You are real, and I appreciate you for that, man.
When it's only up to you. You can't call me. You can't come see me. We can't hang. Like, I'm sitting in this prison wall, and you have to go on with life.
Guys and gals and pals, yeah, a man who's been through a ton. Clinton Portis came back, no doubt about that. You're going to see him again because, again, not being in this tournament doesn't mean you're not part of TKN. He's got a great story to tell, as always. And, yeah, round number 3 is going to be tough. It's interesting to know that 2 out of 3 of the participants in that first round match are no longer here. They were eliminated. Butch Patrick and Clinton Portis. Cheryl Swoops is still here in round number 2. So essentially 66% of that trio was eliminated in this tournament. One remains as part of that trio, and that's Cheryl Swoops. She has one hell of a matchup coming up against Rick Mulhorn and Miko Hughes. That's going to be a doozy.
Ooh.
Guys, we got a lot of great matchups still to come. Jesse Ventura, who's part of this tournament in round number 2. He can't wait. He's got John Lovitz and Jim Brunzell, and that's going to be one hell of a matchup. We got a great matchups, and to get a first look at the next matchup, because we don't take breaks over here, no days or nights off, and we mean it when we say it, trust me. Guys and gals and pals, trust me when I tell you, I don't need a, that's not some big news or revelation. It's not like me dropping a bomb or anything saying that. We're here every night. We take no days off or nights off. I guarantee you, if you want to watch the next TKN Celebrity Tournament matchup, the next second round match, you have to tune into the outro. Coming up soon, very soon, is the outro. And that outro will give you a chance. At the end of the outro video, you will see a flyer for next Saturday's matchup. And you'll find out and get to talk about it all week long. Which superstars, which green roomers, who's next? Who will be next? Next Saturday night, in our first night of November, guys, November the 2nd. Thank you guys for your comments as well. Appreciate that. Howard's going to talk a little recovery pretty soon as well. He'll do that live. But guys and gals and pals, since we are live, and there's a lot going on throughout the week, a lot of us have things that we do. We want to catch you up, guys and gals, on what we've been doing here at TKN, some milestones, if you will. So we'll make sure we play that video for you also. But guys, how about the third rounders? Giselle's in the third. We got a lot of that. The third round video, guys. Those who've made it to round number 3, I think I'm going to play that as well for you guys and gals and pals. But we're going to have to lead with recovery. So, Howard, take it away. You are a man who has definitely worked the program, definitely subscribed to the program. There's no doubt about that. When you talk recovery, there's a lot of people here that will be on the show to talk recovery with you, what recovery means to you. And guys, why we should really take this seriously, because recovery is not just for those who've dealt with substance abuse issues. We recover from all sorts of things in life, emotional, physical, psychological. But Howard, guys and gals, will talk about what recovery means to him with his own specific topic right about now. If he needs me and Giselle might play a little game called Recovery Roleplay. That's a little fun because it's educational and entertaining. That's what it's all about. So Howard's going to talk some recovery. Then Giselle and Howard are going to play a little fun game. I might send you guys a link so you could pop in as well. If you want the link, let me know and I'll send it to you guys. You know who you are. But Howard, take it away. What are we talking about tonight, Mr. Collado?
Sure. One of the things I really wanted to talk about is, we talk about this idea of having a bottom, right? We all deal with we experience a bottom, and then God willing, that bottom opens up. It starts our journey to recovery, right? But what I'm always curious about is what was it particularly about that specific bottom that made it your last, right? Why in that moment did finally something change, something occurred that was the catalyst that motivated you to start walking on that path of recovery, right? I'm curious what you guys are thinking who are watching tonight. You brilliant Engine members and TKN fans. I'll share a little bit of my story. For me, you can tell yourself over and over, and it's that degree of denial, right? You're not going to do XYZ again. You're right. You're not going to have that crazy night and drink as much as you did, right? The next day when you wake up, right? That guilt and shame and fear and the big book talks about the 4 horsemen that accompany you that next day when you wake up, and you tell yourself, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it again. And what happens? You do it again, right? And it's that what do you talk about? That cunning, baffling, powerful, cunning, and baffling, right? This disease. But it leads me again to that moment where finally something happens and you said, I cannot do this anymore. So, I'll relate to you what my experience was particularly. So for me, I was coming up on my birthday. I was turning 35. And at the time I was talking to a therapist, and, my journey was very much of, mom and dad did this and mom did that. And it was pointing fingers, yet ignoring the elephant in the room, which was my alcoholism. And I remember telling the specific therapist at that time that I was kind of fearful of what I was going to do on my birthday, because I knew somewhere in the back of my mind, I was going to do it up. I was going to do something extra, just the way I was wired. And he had suggested AA. And I said, what is that? And he said, well, it's for alcoholics. And there's in New York City, there's almost like a meeting every other corner. And he was like, there's a meeting in every other corner. And I was like, I'm okay. Long story short, obviously my birthday comes and I'm having some drinks with a friend at a Dallas BBQs. Most normal people probably order 1 or 2 drinks and they keep it moving, and that's their night. Not this guy. I obviously ordered a Texas sized margarita, extra shot, dogged one of those down, ordered another, and the night kept going. Long story short, I get back to my place, and at the time I was talking to a young lady, and who was long distance relationship, and we started FaceTiming. She saw my condition, and she just knew I did it again, right? I showed up, for us to talk and communicate, and I was not at all present. I was gone. I was blitz. And what happens in that moment for me is I get first defensive, right? But then for some particular reason that night, that defensiveness broke down and I just had a emotional breakdown. And, and I told her that she needed to just get away from me because I was going to ruin her life. Fast forward the next morning, again, you wake up with all that shame, fear, and regret. And I get a message on my phone. And it's this young lady who says, you need to take a look at these. And I was like, what is she talking about? I press it and it's a link. It's a link to a video of my emotional breakdown. So I finally saw myself having this emotional breakdown. And up to that point, you're more than welcome, Jamie. And Jamie, you're always more than welcome to share your story, brother. At that point, I had seen myself being cute and goofy on video, but I had never seen myself like that. And that was really, I think, that was ultimately my wake up call. And I remember having this, and it sounds a little, I don't know, I could never put this particularly into the most perfect words, but I remember feeling something, a voice, a feeling stating, we can't do this anymore. We've had enough. It was almost like a spiritual fatigue had kind of set in, and that started my journey. And for me, what made that bottom my last was seeing myself, that reflection of this man, pretty much, this man pretty much broken. And when you see that and it's you, that's a wake up call. And, that started my journey. And I'll end it with this. I mean, my first meeting, I remember thinking I had like these 3 reservations. There weren't going to be enough Latinos in AA. There weren't going to be enough young people. There weren't going to be enough artists. And I walk into this meeting, and the speaker, who we call the person who qualifies, shares their story, was this like punk rock girl with like bleached hair. I was like, oh, that's interesting. As the meeting is going, this guy, raises his hand and says, I'm Puerto Rican and I'm scared to go back to the block and tell my boys they don't drink anymore. And I was like, okay, I get that. I get that. But what got it for me, what spoke to my soul, is this guy talked about the difference between isolation and solitude. And he stated isolation is, detaching yourself from all your feelings, right? Using drugs to detach yourself. And solitude is, you're more than welcome, Sharon. Thank you for checking in, as well, Allison. Thank you. And solitude is being able to sit with yourself, with all those things that you question and you're able to sit with yourself and you're okay. And that's solitude. And that really spoke to me.
Yeah. It's kind of a scary thing sometimes to sit in solitude and listen to only one voice in your head, knowing that it's yours. It's your truth. And there's no way to run. There's nowhere to go. But it's also very sobering because there's nowhere to go. And there's nowhere to turn to. It could be. It could be scary for some. It could be daunting. Maybe there's more noise in 2024. So solitude could be even scarier. Because we're so conditioned to noise. Voices. But yeah, your road to recovery is definitely an inspirational story. And I could tell that a lot of people are inspired too. Yeah, Jamie, Larry, Allison, Sharon, appreciate the love. Guys, I think what we're going to do now is somehow apply what Howard said into a scene. All right. I'm going to direct the scene over here. It's going to have Giselle and our 2 other engine members in the back who I'm going to bring in now. They're going to be part of the scene as well. And I'll give them the scenario. So, Chad and Brian, welcome. Welcome to the show.
Hey.
Hey, everybody.
Dude.
How are you all
What a
doing?
wonderful show tonight.
Most definitely.
Yeah. Great to see you guys. I love seeing these faces on screen. We saw you earlier with your predictions, of course, but now you're here live, which is where we thrive. Guys, part of the family here, Chad and Brian, and of course, guys and gals, G Money herself, Giselle. Welcome, Giselle.
Hey, Giselle.
All right.
Hi, Chad. Hi, Brian.
How you doing?
Did I ever try the headbang? I did. I took it off, and then I also used to have a bandana I used to wear.
Yes. Yes.
And I would headbang. Yes, I used to headbang to a lot of things. Believe it or not, the biggest mosh pit I was ever a part of wasn't a traditional heavy metal band. You know which band it was?
Who? I think I know the story.
The Beastie Boys.
Oh.
They had the best mosh pit I've ever been a part of when I was younger.
Oh, wow.
Incredible mosh pit, yeah. But they were a hybrid, right? So,
Yes. Yeah.
guys and gals, this is a hybrid. It's called Roleplay Recovery, Recovery Roleplay, whichever way you'd like. Guys and gals, that's how the old mop flops. We're going to get into it right now. Here is the scene. So, Chad, Brian, you guys remember workshop. We're going to do a little workshopping. Giselle, of course, is a great storyteller as well, a great teacher.
Yep.
Howard, you're going to be playing someone who's meeting up with a drug dealer. That drug deal will be portrayed by Giselle. And on your tail, without you knowing this, are your two friends being portrayed by Brian and Chad. And I expect you guys to just jot down some notes now so you'll know your names. Howard will be portraying a man named Derek. He'll be portraying a man named Derek. Howard will be portraying Derek. Brian will be portraying a man named William. Chad will be portraying a man named Jacob. Giselle will be portraying a woman named Allison. And of course, Allison is the person that sells Howard drugs in this scene. Let me set up the scenario. It is Sunday evening. It is 9 p.m. It is dark. It is windy. It is mid-December. You are near a pier. You are near the piers, Howard. There is no one there in sight. It is very barren, a barren wasteland, if you will. Nothing there but you and Allison, so you think. Brian and Chad, each with their bicycles, have been tailing you for about 3 or 4 miles. Now, they're letting you and Allison have a conversation to a certain point. When they've heard enough, they're going to pop in. Their objective, everyone has an objective in a scene. Their objective is to make sure you do not buy drugs from Allison. Their objective is that you come to a halfway house that you were scheduled to be yesterday. You were scheduled to be at a halfway home. You didn't make it there. They want to take you there. You do not want to go. You want to buy these drugs. You started using when you were 12. You haven't stopped since. You were raised by a single mom. You recently got fired from your job. There was a severance package, and you were going through it right now. You are going through that severance package like it's out of style. Doubling down on your dose, or doses. Allison wants to make a sale. She sold to you before, in case she's wondering, half a dozen times. She doesn't suspect that anybody's telling you, but she won't be too happy, nor will her benefactor if she finds out. That is the scene. That's enough information. Guys, when I go backstage, so too will Chad and Brian. When they pop in, at that moment, when they pop in, they'll be in proximity of Derek and Allison, played by Howard and Giselle. They'll be in proximity of them. It's more of a, aha! We've been watching you the whole time, Derek. Are we good to go, Chad and Brian?
Definitely.
All right, guys.
Really quick. Jacob is that?
Is that Chad? That's Chad.
Yeah, okay.
William is Brian.
And William is Brian.
You're
Okay.
Derek. Giselle is Allison.
Copy. Okay.
All right. So, guys, again, Chad and Brian, you better be ready because when I put you up on screen, that's the moment you guys are out of the shadows and are confronting Derek about his problem. All right? Howard and Giselle in a 3, in a 2, in a U.
A little cold there?
Yeah. Look, let's just get this over with. All right. Let me just get my bags of Coke, and I need to go. Okay.
What's the rush?
I've had a really bad day.
and this is going to take the edge off. So I need it. I need it now. So, can we just, I appreciate, you're here, you're consistent, you're always here, and but I really need to get my fix.
You're gonna stiff me this time?
No. Look, I know I still owe you, from the last purchase, and I swear to God, my severance package, I still got a lot of money from there. I'm just having some trouble with the bank and them delivering.
Let me see the cash.
Let
me see the cash. Don't have it? You want to Venmo me instead?
Yeah. No, I could do that. I could definitely Venmo you the money. Look, I don't have any cash on me right now. I just don't. There's nothing in me. Okay, I just got my debit card. Okay, but I could Venmo you.
There's an ATM down the block. Do we need to take you to the ATM? I'll walk with you. Let's go.
Look, look.
You said you had it.
I don't have any cash on me.
Okay, so we can go to the ATM.
But you know what it is? My card. I've been having a lot of trouble with my card. Sometimes for some reason that it's not reading the little metal thing, the meter thing. It's so I have to get a new one. Okay, but look, listen, just look.
You want this?
Allison,
give me my money.
I understand that, Allison. You've always been. Look, you've always been there for me, and I've never stiffed you. Yes, it might take sometimes maybe a week or something like that to get back to you, but I always do. So please, just look. Allison,
please, what?
You had a really tough.
You are currently wasting my time, and if you don't have the goods, I'm going somewhere else.
Look! Listen to me. Look, I've always been there. Consistently, well, not always consistent, but look, you always get what you're.
When am I going to get it? I didn't get it last time.
All right.
I always get what?
Look,
excuses, lies. I don't even know how I meet with you. I know you're not going to give me what I need. Look, I'm going to go. You can come with me to the ATM.
There's something else you can hold on to, a value that before I get.
I have a car.
You
don't own your house. I don't.
Hey, look, do you want to hold on to my ID or something? All right, because I obviously I needed to get to places, but just look, you can hold on to it and
until when? 2 minutes?
I swear to give me a day. I will call my bank, all right, and I'll make sure that they release. Look, I've had really
are not worth my time.
Like my mom told me that's it. She's done with me. All right, she's just cutting me off from her life. That's the kind of day I had.
Whoa. What are you doing, Derek? Me and William have been watching you, wondering where you went. This is what you've been doing? You're really seriously buying drugs?
Me?
No. Yeah, we are. We care about you.
What am I, six?
Hold up.
Jacob. Listen. Just calm down for a second. First of all.
No, you're following me.
Listen.
Hey, what am I saying?
You're the one wasting your money on something that's just going to make you feel good for a few minutes and then gone the next? Just hold up. We're all going to talk. I'm not here.
Okay,
we're not here to fight.
Unbelievable.
Oh, great. You're here to pay me, right? You're here to pay me what he owes me from last time? Because that would be great. I would love to take that and get out of your hair.
You can just stand there and let us talk to our friend.
Guys.
If you're going to talk to your friend, there's no reason for me to leave. Give me what he owes me. I'll be out your way.
Just go put your street poison somewhere else and stay away from
I'm trying. I still need my money from last time.
We are going to take our friend to a halfway house where he belongs. He needs help and not the kind of help that you can offer him. What are you going to do? You're going to put our friend in a goddamn morgue?
Derek, hold up.
We are not going to look at our friend in a casket because of people like you anymore.
Jacob, I understand how you feel. Just wait. Let's calm down. I'll need to be reasonably here for a second. What we overheard was that you owe her money. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
How much does he owe you?
500.
Nope. How much?
500.
Jesus.
Are you for real, Derek?
Derek, no. It's okay. You got the wallet on you. You got my wallet on you. You got my debit, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Go to the ATM for a second. Grab my money. I need 500 in cash. I'm just gonna pay. Wait, you got Venmo?
Well, wait.
Oh, no. We're not dealing with a drug dealer. No, listen to me.
No. I want to make an agreement with this person that if
No. We will make an agreement once it's paid, because we're not going to sit here and deal with the repercussions of not paying a drug dealer. You understand?
Can we hurry this up,
right?
please?
Pay her
I don't
and
want to
then
be
her
here more than
show
y'all
back
want me
up.
to be here. So get
Allison,
the cash. Let's go.
I am carrying right now. I really don't want to deal with this, but I will. Listen to me very carefully. I am fine. No, Derek, shush. You started
this last time.
Derek,
Can you just get me?
I am going to pay this, Derek. Derek, I am going. Derek,
please, just this last
Derek,
time.
you don't need to talk.
I stop, guys. I'm begging you, please.
No, stop.
All right, just one time. Just one time.
Allison,
I'm done.
what's your Venmo? What's
You
your
know
Venmo?
better than this, Derek. You know
You
better
know,
than
have the
this.
debit card. I'd rather the cash.
Okay, you would rather
Can we?
the cash?
Can we walk? We'll walk.
Can you
We'll
go
leave
run and get
Jacob
the
with
cash, please? I
Derek.
would like
You
to
and
pay
I
her,
can
and then
go.
we'll deal with Derek. Okay.
And then
When I
I'll be
get
out of your
back-
hair. You will
when
be out
I-
of my hair. We never have to see each other again.
Allison, if you keep this up, please, just let's be calm, reasonable, and let's move on.
Yeah. Can we walk
Jacob,
and talk though?
can you
When
please
I
go
get when I get back with the money, I want you to promise you stay away from our friend forever. If we
Can you?
ever see your face again, I will have
Jacob?
the
I
cops
don't see
pick you
people.
up.
They come to me.
Jacob, we're right here. We need to bring it down here.
Guys, can you just,
Jacob,
just
you
please
got your
Freeze,
answer. She's
everyone,
gonna
freeze,
feel it.
freeze where you are, freeze, literally freeze. Yeah. At this moment, to all those who are watching now, Allison, Derek, Jacob, and William are going to get a solo layout. They are going to provide us an epilogue of sorts. What happened after this scene? But they're not going to be telling us what happened in this scene as a Howard Collado would, as a Giselle would, as a Brian or a Chad would. They're going to be letting us know what happened after this encounter. They're going to give us their perspective. They're going to let us know what the next step is for them individually, with or without Derek. I'm going to ask everybody to remain silent because even though you'll see one person on screen, we're not technically backstage when I give someone a solo. So do not say a word when someone else is speaking. Allison is going to give us her epilogue that takes place right after this encounter in a 3, in a 2, in a U.
God, I hate losing a client. Well, it's not like he was paying anyway. Yeah, unfortunately, it's not up to me. At least it was a fairly worthless individual. For me. Had a soft spot for him. Gets me in trouble sometimes. Why do you have to be so nice all the time, this Derek guy? Ugh. Makes it harder. And you know, these friends of his, they don't know anything about me. They don't know what's really happening, what's really going on, and why. They don't
Freeze. And we will know, guys and gals and pals commenting, because we'll see Allison next Saturday as well as we develop this story. William is going to give us his epilogue in a 3, in a 2. You.
Jacob, I love you, man, but you gotta take it down, bro. Dang. Derek, man, Derek. What would your mom think, man? Oh, I just want to punch you right. We're gonna stay calm. Everything's gonna be okay. Look, we're gonna get him to the halfway house. He's gonna be fine. And Allison, look, I've seen her around town. I know. We don't know what she's going through, but at the same time, she's got to know what she's peddling is wrong. I'm just so. Oh. Look. Put everything down for a second and just breathe. Everything will be okay. Just think. First step, pay her off. Go to the halfway house.
Freeze. We're going to find more about William and his arc next Saturday as well. Right now, Jacob will provide us with his epilogue into 3, unit 2.
Man, Derek, you're so lucky that you have a friend like William. I would never, ever have felt that way and paid that kind of money on such a stupid drug debt. You should have known. I know me and my hot head, it can make tempers and things get a lot worse. And I saw the fire in the drug dealer's eyes. Man, what was she thinking trying to sell you this stuff? I see my friends die of this each and every day. I hope somebody like her, she just crawls under a rock and goes away. I have lost my friggin' brother to stuff like this. How many more of our friends do we have to stand over to watch die because of people like this? Man, William, I would never have paid that, but I'm so glad that we were finally able to get Derek to go into a halfway house and talk a bit of sense into him. He needs this into his life and to get back on to that road of redemption and finding who he is.
Freeze. Powerful. Everyone's going to stay frozen. Everyone's going to stay frozen on screen. I'm speaking to the audience now, letting you guys and gals know to get on Saturday nights is not an easy thing. I don't say that in a braggadocious fashion. It's just only as much time as we can allow, right? 3 hours is pretty much as long as we go on Saturdays. And for us to do this means it's impactful. It means that it matters. So once the show's over, give it up. Why don't you send a nice message to Chad and Brian and Howard and Giselle, let them know, job well done. Because again, storytelling is what we do. On Wednesday nights, on Joe Rizart's page, there's a show called The Black Box. There'll be a lot of storytelling. And of course, guys, this is the home of the celebrity tournament. Really a place that a lot of people want to visit. A lot of people want to be a part of. Some big names, 11th hour matchups going on. And there's a lot going on here on Saturday night. So to be a part of this show, to have what we call airtime on a broadcast like this, means that what we're doing throughout is valuable. From the opening bell to the outro. And this recovery role play will be a part of what we do on Saturday nights as well. Thank you, guys. Appreciate that. Guys and gals, we're going to finish it off right now. We're all going to stay frozen again as Derek provides us with his epilogue in a 3, in a 2.
Jacob and William, I know they mean well. I know they do. And they were kind enough to take me to this halfway house. But all I can think of when I close my eyes are two things. Choosing between my fix or a conversation with my mom. So I had to get out of that window and jumped out of the window. And I ran. And I ran. And as I was running, moments in my life were kind of passing through my mind. I remember being 8, playing softball and running to first base, second. Fast forward to 16, my first kiss, Jacob Javits Center. Marisol Rodriguez. And then my dad dying on me. And then I got to my mom's house. And I stood there in that front door. And I knocked. She didn't scream. She wasn't yelling. She just looked at me. She told me.
Freeze. We're going to find out what she told him next week, guys. We're going to find out what she told Derek next Saturday Night Live. Guys, recovery role play. I did it back in the day with Howard. We're going to be seeing a lot of it. Hopefully it helps you because now we see Chad. Howard's going to change his nameplate again back to Howard. Now we see Chad, Brian, Giselle, and Mr. Collado giving you a story that maybe you can relate to. And if you take something away from the story, maybe, just maybe, there's someone else out there you can help and we'll pay it forward that way. That's what this is all about. Hopefully it also entertains you. And guys, upcoming, I don't do a lot of them. Some podcasts ask me to do them. I would only trust one person right now, and that's the man to my right, Howard Collado, who's going to change his nameplate right now, guys and gals. Howard Collado is going to be interviewing yours truly on an upcoming episode of The Green Room as early as next Saturday, live. It will be Howard and I in person live. He's going to be asking me a lot of questions that no one's ever asked me about this journey and this tournament and the network. I don't give him a lot, but I'm going to give Howard my time, and he will be interviewing me, and that's going to definitely be groundbreaking. I guarantee you some information you've never heard of before. Always honest, always direct. It's going to be hard-hitting, but it's going to be true, as always. Also, guys and gals, great flyer regarding this recovery segment as well. It will be distributed across the week. And remember, Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time is its own little mini tournament called the Black Box Tournament. We got Miranda in the house. We got Howard in the house. And if I'm not mistaken, Chad, yes, Chad is going to be the third in that matchup this Wednesday. Gives them a chance to get some prizes for this tournament. Why not? So, guys, please, if you want to help us, this is free. Thank you. Welcome. This is free. Make sure you share this broadcast. Make sure you like the broadcast. Make sure you comment all over again once it's not live anymore. Get it out there, guys. Let's subscribe. It's all free. Where else are you going to find anything under this umbrella that we have to offer? Nowhere. Only here, and I say that proudly. There is heart. There is desire. There is passion and compassion. And compow, chicken. On top of that, we'll eat that later. On top of that, guys and gals and pals, you're going to get substance, a little bit of style, and all the while, the most grandest tournament of them all. We are talking about 131 Hall of Famers from the world of sports, music, wrestling, not to mention Oscar, Grammy, Tony, Emmy, Golden Globe, AMA, WJ, and Olympians, all competing for the pride of the prize, not merely the size. Look at these eyes, guys and gals. This thing is going to explode and continue to do so because you have made it what it is today. So, guys, if you want to know next Saturday's matchup, you don't have to go anywhere, but you should grab someone from somewhere so they sit beside you. And you and they can take in next Saturday's matchup because, as you see, eliminations are happening. They're happening one way or the other. Next Saturday night, guys, we have one hell of a matchup. But before you find out who's facing who, when you watch this outro, the top 10, as voted by all of you, the top 10. Who do you think are the top 10 contenders in round number 2? Enjoy that. And then at the end of the video, check out the flyer because you will find out what next Saturday's matchup is all about. They're coming. They're preparing. They're researching. They know. And soon you'll know what we have in store for you next Saturday night.
Obsession's going to be talent every time. You got all the talent in the world, but are you obsessed? Is it all you ever think about?
and I wanted to read something about it. I can't believe it's only 32 minutes long. I thought it was 3 hours long and had such an impact.
So much has gone, so much time has gone, under the bridge, and it was warm and wonderful.
And me being able to bring up the next generation of girls, to inspire them to be better, to get their mental together. Track and field is an emotional sport, it's a mental sport, and you have to have your mental in order to be so successful in this sport.
And when he was a young boy, he got a guitar from his mom. I think he was like 15 years old.
Then you see the moms and the dads, the aunts and the uncles, the grandparents. They're all big fans.
It became a movement of women saying, I matter. He hires people that are really the part, and they are the essence of the part that he wants.
That the consequences thereof of my actions have borne more positive things in this world. Buddy Rogers was the first one to kind of start integrating that into his style of putting 2, 3, and 4, 5 moves together. So what you think is a high spot is not a high spot.
You really become emotionally attached to this creature.
And you can adjust the speed to reflect your tempo.
It's absolutely essential to try and arrest the downward spiral of an out of control youth who doesn't have any guidance.
I think it was a little too ahead of its time right then. I mean, if it had been a year later, it would have sold.
The fool is the one that won't change or doesn't respect change.
I mean, brother, sometimes remembering a finish for him, it was incredible, man, because the finish might be 6 minutes long. I mean, but they wanted to paint the picture, properly.
For the next 25 years that followed, that just passed by, I've been doing conferences in schools.
I'll tell you, but it was amazing, and so finally he told me, he says, yeah, I'll take you in. So I went to Stampede Wrestling,
You take that mom and make sure that you can enjoy yourself.
This is huge. It's huge for Detroit. It's huge for Michigan. But it's just fun, and I'll tell you, the guys are excited.
Well, I know a lot of you I've spoken to off on the side about my addiction and recovery and stuff like that. And now I can say honestly, I'm 8 years clean off of crack cocaine.
Is everybody gonna someday get the hell along, in this damn planet?
Doing a lot of shows,
Good.
Doing a lot of
Good
shows, just having fun, man. People are shocked. You're like, what?
I remember when I first saw the movie The Godfather, because especially I learned about the tradition, about the mafia, about the Italian family.
Hi everybody, I'm Lou Ferrigno. I live by my motto, health is your greatest wealth.
He picked a team that he thought would make a great team.
Everything. So he was really a major part of what we did in the ring. If something looked good or didn't look good, he would tell us.
See, our country, we're allowed to have as many kids as we want, so I think the kids of this country today are going to change a lot.
Well, I was having a lot of fun. I think that anytime you can grow up,
as a teenager being a celebrity, it's a lot of fun, and I had a great time doing it.
It's the guy who's willing to die.
Here we go.
Who's gonna win that itch?
Here we go.
And I know if I'm gonna have any life in it.
Scoot in,
You
Greener.
gotta look at the guy next to you. Look into his eyes. Now I think you're gonna see a guy who will go that inch with you.
You know what? Maybe one of the world's problems will get solved by listening to this show.
Love, Avi, I'm gonna win this whole thing. Watch.
I know you are, Tom. I know you are.
Yeah.